Hello, one and all, and welcome to the 2024 Dubbie Awards. This is our yearly awards show where we give out awards to some amazing series and performances in the English dub realm. My name is Stephanie, and I will be your master of ceremonies once more. And I'm joined, as always, by my fellow OG hosts, Hardy and Megan.
I'm back!
Yeah, this bitch.
It has been 30,000 years since I've seen the sun. I crawled in the minds of all English dubs. For some reason, Jack Black showed up at one point. I told him, dude, wrong mine, and sent him to the Minecraft movie.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, in case y'all weren't around last year, Hardy missed out because of a scheduling issue. Mm-hmm. This bitch is back.
Don't worry, he brought gifts.
I did. Megan, I brought you this bag of beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's.
God bless you.
Yes. Jackson, I brought you this white cheddar habanero bag of Buc-ee's Nuckies.
I am also here.
We'll get to that in a second. What do I get a new present?
Oh yes, you get some ghost pepper beef jerky.
Oh fuck, you want me to die, don't you?
I want you to live to your best.
Oh god.
Hardy, as somebody with IBS, I thank you for not giving me the Carolina Reaper butt burner.
Yeah, he gives it to me instead. Love that for me. Anyway.
Just don't eat it before you fly somewhere.
Oh, God. Alright, now it won't be just the three of us giving out personal awards for various categories, but the other Dub Talk hosts as well. And since Hardy kind of alluded to it, to help us with that, we've requested the assistance of our resident Canadian of the show, Jackson.
I too am back after a year away and now on recording. Bigger and stronger than ever.
Hey! Hell yeah. If this is your first time listening to the Dubbie Awards, first of all, welcome. Secondly, again, this is the show the podcast puts on every year in an effort to show our appreciation to the English dub community at large by giving personal awards and even listener-selected ones in various categories. Now, there are a list of qualifications for our awards show, but I kind of want to save us a few minutes this year because these episodes tend to be stupid long. So instead of explaining all of the rules and qualifications, you can find the entire list in the description of this episode, but I will at least state three things. Number one, the OG hosts, that being myself, Hardy, and Megan, are allowed 2 award winners, while the remaining hosts are allowed 1. Number 2, the following have received exemption from the 2023 Dubbie Awards and do qualify for the 2024 Dubbie Awards, those being the films The First Slam Dunk and Ernest and Celestine, A Trip to Gibberitia. And number 3, there's only one series that is exempt from the 2024 Dubbie Awards, and barring any other potential issues, it can qualify for the 2025 Dubbie Awards, that being Season 2 of Our Last Crusade. Simple enough, right? With all of the housekeeping out of the way, do we want to get started with our first award of the evening?
Just a reminder to all viewers that we went to the Christopher Nolan School of Editing, which means you will be sat here the entire time, and if you move, the cat that we have placed in all of your laps will turn and look at you and give you a guilty, guilty look for making them get up.
That cat will forever be on your conscience, you bad person. How dare you?
Bastard.
We have selected the cutest and or most scrungliest cats we could find in the shelters of America and Canada. And just so you know, if you get up, that cat will be sad.
Moral of the story, don't make cats sad.
But not as sad as Andrew when he gets denied sex with Steph.
Oh, Jesus Christ, here we are again. There's always one every Dubbie Awards season.
That's my allowance. I used it up right here.
That's your quota for the day.
If you don't give them a reaction, they'll stop, Stephanie.
Whoever is editing this episode this year needs to put a drum roll after every joke we tell at Andrew's expense.
See, the main person who is allowed to make jokes at Andrew's expense, because we just discussed this before we hit record, is Jackson. Because Andrew made so many jokes at Jackson's expense a few years ago when he was reading Jackson's winners. So I think there's only one person who's allowed that card tonight, and he is here in the call with us.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna make a wheel decide to choose who I get to make fun of this year.
Oh my god!
Barring anybody on this call. It has landed on Noah, so all of my jokes tonight will be at Noah's expense.
Oh no! Oh no!
So many short jokes.
All screwed. Okie doke. So we're gonna get started because we love taking our sweet old time and dragging a bunch of shit out. We're gonna start with our first award, which is the Underrated Performance Award. These awards are effectively for those performances that we feel flew under the radar in the past year. What I would like to do for tonight, for consistency's sake, is go in the order of Jackson, Megan, Hardy, and then myself.
Okay.
All right.
Okay? So, Jackson, if you could please lead us off, will you please tell us what the other hosts have selected for their winners for underrated performance this year?
All right, let's get to it. Starting with Amon, whose winner for Underrated Performance of the Year goes to Kitana Turnbull from Maboroshi. Kitana gets my nod here for a very simple reason. Playing a feral child who's so far gone she really does behave more like an animal than a person is hard work, and since Maboroshi seems to suffer from "no one watches movies on Netflix" syndrome, I'm hoping this will get more people to watch the damn thing since it's good. Andrew's winner goes to Morgan Lee for Machine Too Many Losing Heroines. The Machine dub is an impressive showcase of comedic and dramatic chops from a bunch of fresher faces in the VO sphere as a whole. To me, the one that really surprised me most was Morgan Lee's Komari, a small introvert struggling, persevering, and adapting with heartbreak, moving on, and learning to let herself lean on others. Morgan's performance is vulnerable, earnest, endearing, and full of a lot of heart that made me grow attached to Komori's character arc. Also, Morgan's got some damn good exasperated squeaks and noodle choking noises.
Okay.
Gigi would like to give the award to Kiba Walker for Phantom of the Idol. I know a lot of people slept on this show, but Phantom of the Idol resonates with me so much. Kiba has to basically play a dual role here, and it's refreshing to see such a contrast. Wake up and watch this dub. Jamal's award goes to Barrett Nash for Date Alive 5. For someone who's acted very little in anime, she's turned in a great performance, having a final arc that pivoted her from a side character to a deuteragonist over the course of 12 episodes. Well done. Jet's winner for underrated performance goes to Michael Johnson for Akuma-kun. On the podcast, we often talked about how playing a character who speaks in a monotone can be more difficult to pull off than people realize because it can be hard for an actor to do that while still giving a character emotion. Doing that kind of monotone for a character who is emotionally stunted sounds like an even bigger challenge, yet, despite that, I was really captivated by Michael's performance as Ichiro, and how well he was able to get across his lack of empathy, and how that changes as he starts to learn a little bit more about humanity. So much so that it's stuck with me several months later, and his work here is so strong, I'd almost recommend the show just based off that alone. Patrick's award for underrated performance goes to Tom Anguilo for Bartender Glass of God. Tom's performance is deserving of a Dubbie, but my decision of consideration for underrated performance is also because what the dub of Glass of God as a whole represents. A second chance. The coming back around for something that got missed during its original broadcast run, also being done responsibly as the platform allows. And then Jackson's award for underrated performance in a dub goes to Xanthi Wynn for Kimi ni Todake From Me to You. The perfect back burner show with the perfect protagonist who lights up the room with her joie de vivre.
Thank you, Jackson, for all of those. Megan, can you tell us your winners for the Underrated Performance Award?
Yeah. My first pick for underrated performance is going to come from a dub that I think everybody has praised and watched. But I'm going to do it for a character that I think a lot of people didn't think about their performance. And that is for Anastasia Munoz as Seirei in Free Eren Beyond Journey's End.
Ooh, okay.
There's nothing more that I love than seeing a veteran voice actor being brought in. Seirei's stance in Frieren is to foil Frieren and Mallory Roddick's performance. Anastasia brings that in spades for as little screen time as the long-lived head of the Magic Association Seirei gets on screen. Distant and seemingly aloof, with childish petulance, Anastasia makes this performance sound effortless. Frieren is a show with a ton of amazing performances, but I really wanted to highlight Anastasia's. My second underrated performance When I started the dub of The Elusive Samurai, I didn't have a lot of expectations. But what I didn't expect was to fall for a gremlin child, nor his vocal performance. If anything, I am literally much more familiar with Caitlin Rothbrock's most well-known role, being Minnie Mouse.
What?
As Genba, she plays a snarky, perving, conniving thief with a heart of gold. She contrasts well off of Abby Trot's Tokiyuki and Genie Terada's Kojiro in terms of femme-presenting voices playing male characters. I kind of wish we got more screen time with Genba, because Caitlin's performance is so much fun, and she knocked it out of the park. Yeah, so the voice of Minnie Mouse plays a perverted little thief with a fox mask, who, upon getting back and getting drunk at one point, takes off his pants and does the helicopter dick.
Oh,
I love
Christ.
him. I want 10.
That's
Shin-chan must be proud.
God,
a lot.
we found Shin-chan's ancestor.
That's a lot to digest right now. That's a combination. Oh my god. Wow.
Also, at one point, he sees a big booby lady running down a street and proceeds to nosebleed so hard that a rainbow appears over it. I love this kid. He's awful. I want 10. Genba probably needs a bath, but I would give him one. That's my son now. And honestly, I'll be real. Anastasia Munoz's Sarah gives me gender envy, so just saying.
Damn. Alright, well thank you, Megan. Hardy, can you give us your winners for underrated performance, please?
Normally, the underrated award is where I would usually put any celebrity talent. And while we definitely do have two that could easily go here, one of them I didn't have time to watch, and the other I'll be bringing up later. So instead, I decided to choose two actors who I think had fantastic performances, but may have slipped under the radar. First, we have one Dallas Reed as Suo in Windbreaker, who brings about a laid-back, chill, yet mysterious aura. He never gets mad, never loses his cool, he's always in his state of chillax. Even though he never eats, he forever remains in his perpetual moment of zen. Takes a good actor to pull off such a performance and make it not sound fake, but Dallas manages this perfectly. Second, we have a relatively new actress with Abigail Blythe as Kikuru in Kaiju number 8. Even though she is fresh off the block, Abigail brings a spicy fire to the character, proving to everyone that Kikuru is best girl and you all should know it. The only way this could have been better is if her big axe was also a guitar.
Oh my god! Oh no! We have Hanako vibes! I love it!
Hell yeah, baby.
Hell yeah, bitch! Oh, what the Megan, what'd you post?
Hardy, when I saw Suo do that fight, this was my entire reaction to it. If you want to look at chat really quick.
Can I read this?
Yeah.
Okay, so she is in the middle of a conversation with Andrew. Megan, can you read yours and I'll be Andrew?
Only if I need to read the gif, because I can do the accent.
Okay.
Did Suo just break a man?
He's not dead, at least.
Is he, though?
And then there's a gif.
What murder? That man psychologically broke another kid.
Yeah! It's fucking brilliant.
And he didn't even have lunch to do it, because Suo doesn't eat.
Where does it go? Also, Kikuru is best girl.
Alright. Thank you, Hardy. I appreciate you. Alright. Now, I love talking about the underrated performance Dubbie Award because it allows us to highlight even more outstanding performances from the year, but for those who may have blown under the radar. And man, I certainly kind of feel that that's the case with these two. I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't have a racist cult on my 2024 bingo card, but here comes Pluto giving me some crazy shit. And it was certainly a surprise to me when Nathan Drake himself, Mr. Nolan North, showed up and voiced a little racist scumbag. But boy was he so much fun to hate during the show. While his character has a small brief role in the series, Nolan is just undeniably having the time of his life. This robot racist character is one you want to punt into the sun, but by the end of his arc, you start to see this man show regret for his actions. He's not fully redeemed, and honestly, I don't think he should be. But it at least gives some kind of hope for this character, and Nolan North went through all of the beats effortlessly. And one of the few times I'll ever get to actually talk about him, Kudos to Nolan for this hell of a performance.
Can't wait for when Tom Hardy plays him in the live action.
Damn. Now, when you have voiced the same character for several years, literally being tied to that singular role for most of your career, how do you move on from it after it's finished? I suppose voicing a romantic lead could be one way to start. Sarah Nattercheny has been known as Ash Ketchum in Pokemon for several years, but finally got to hang up the hat recently. In one of the most surprising twists from 2024, she got the opportunity and was cast as one half of the lead duo in Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian. For Alia, Sarah brings the Ice Princess to life effortlessly, and all the while getting the rare opportunity to speak in Russian, her native language. The determination Alia has, along with the naivete the character shows, gives something new, fun, and interesting to Sarah post-Pokemon. A fun and delightful performance, Sarah is certainly not to be missed from this little underrated member.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay.
No, I will sing Sarah's praises for Alia, like, till the cows come home. Like, she is phenomenal. She is phenomenal in that role. Alright, now, I believe we're ready to move on to our next award.
Yeah, sounds great.
Our next award is for Voice Actor to Watch. This award is specifically dedicated for either the brand spanking new voice actors or the actors who have been gaining much more traction in the past year that we feel need to be kept an eye out for in the future. Jackson, will you lead us off with the other host winners for Voice Actor to Watch?
Let's do it. Voice Actor to Watch. We'll start with Amon. Amon's award for Voice Actor to Watch goes to Mitchell Taylor for the first slam dunk. I had considered being a smartass and putting patents in here, but that would be unfair to Mitchell here, who turns in a wonderful performance as young Ryota and achieves the rarest of feats, a really good child performance in a dub. I hope he keeps getting in with NY AV Post. He sounds like he has a lot of potential. Andrew's award for Voice Actor to Watch goes to Abigail Blythe for Kaiju number 8. Feels like booking a big role in a shonen anime is always going to shine a light on an actor that wasn't there before. So this year, I'm going to direct that light to shine on one Abigail Blythe for my Voice Actor to Watch. To me, Abigail brought the exact perfect amount of emotion and personality that was needed for my axe-wielding, kaiju-killing, pigtail-wearing rich daddy's girl, Kikoru Shinomiya in Kaiju number 8. Consider me very impressed, and I look forward to seeing how far she goes.
That was a fucking mouthful.
I was not ready, but we kept going.
You did it effortlessly. I applaud you, sir.
Gigi's winner for Voice Actor to Watch goes to Daniel Van Thomas for Buchigiri. I had a hard time with this category this year because I felt like all the anime I watched had more veteran voice actors. I wanted to give Buchigiri some love, and Daniel Van Thomas plays my favorite character in the best way, so now he's on my radar. Can't wait to hear more. Jamal's winner of Voice Actor to Watch is Trisha Mellon for Machine Too Many Losing Heroines. I've been following Trisha's work since her debut in The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a typical nobody. I love what I've heard of her. Her voice gives me Leah Clark vibes, and I'm glad she's finally breaking out as of Machine. Jet's winner for Voice Actor to Watch award goes to Jason Vanderbrake for Pluto. I had never really heard of this man prior to his work in Pluto, and given how long I've been waiting to see Pluto get adapted, I figured a dub would have casted a notable veteran for the role of Geschicht. Jason's casting really caught me off guard, and the fact that he not only delivered such a strong performance for his first anime outing, but one that was on par with industry veterans like Keith David and Richard Epcar is nothing short of incredible, and everyone should be keeping an eye on whatever he does in the future. He's definitely going places. Patrick's award for Voice Actor to Watch goes to Emily Rudd for Delicious in Dungeon. Gonna admit, Netflix casting an actress from a live-action adaptation of One Piece as one of the emotional core characters of an anime is a gambit I did not expect to work as well as it did. Emily is great as Marcel, and if dubbing is something she wants to continue pursuing, either between seasons of live action or as a core pillar of her portfolio, I'm all for it. Jackson's award for Voice Actor to Watch goes to Britt McKillop for Anton in Dead Dead Demons Dead Destruction. I want to hear more from the actor of Princess Candace, and I want it yesterday. We get so few chances to hear from Canadian actors in anime, and I covet every opportunity.
Beautiful. Beautiful, thank you. I am also here for Emily Rudd to do more voiceover work. I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you for that. Megan, can you give us your winners for voice actor to watch, please?
Sure. So I'm going to start out with Nick Huber as Toma Hiragi in Windbreaker. Can a scene really clinch Dubbie? For me, usually no. Nothing against action anime, but I do often feel like, compared to others, so much praise is heaped onto action actors. But this time it's my turn. Nick Huber in episode 6 sealed this award for me. Toma is really funny, popping his gas axe pills and being that kind of like brash typical delinquent, but it's his fight paired with the acting of Ian Mead Moore of Sako that really got it for me. Nick Holt held his own in a performance with actors who were much more veteran than him, while also putting his own spin on there. It felt like he was a veteran of 10 plus years. I'm excited to see where Nick's career can really take off to. My other award, and this has probably been the one that's been sealed for me for like 6 or 7 months now, is gonna go to Bev Mageto as Lemon Yashiko in Machine Too Many Losing Heroines. Best girl, by the way. I went into Machine with low expectations and came out pleasantly surprised with it as a show and as a dub. And a lot of that was due to Bev's take on Lemon. Her acting through Lemon's specific arc held the young wonder of trying to hide away messy feelings. Bev, to excuse the pun here, took off running with this girl. She took her high highs and her lowest lows. Her arc's final conversation with Mitsuki holds my heart, and much of it is due to Bev's performance and maturity with the role. So here's hoping we hear more of Bev going forward.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Megan. Hardy, would you do us the honor of telling us your voice actor to watch winners?
I have 2 brand new actors to add to the list, both of them only having a single role in anime, but one has experience in video game voice work, and the other starred in a live-action anime adaptation. First off, there is Jason Van de Breek for his role as Gesicht in Pluto. Jason gives the robot detective a deep, strong voice, slightly robotic on purpose, but always filled with bravery and determination. Secondly, we have Emily Rudd as Marcille in Delicious in Dungeon. Though she starts out rocky at first, within a few episodes she definitely seems to hit something of a stride. I hope that both of these promising actors continue to improve and that we get to see more of them in the future.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. So I love the Voice Actor to Watch Award, and I'll tell you why. This award in the past decade or so has given me the opportunity to recognize the actors whose career is either just starting out or whose star has only begun to become bigger and bigger. It's just so much fun for me to point and be like, this person is going places, watch them. First, I have got to say this actor had a rather crazy, unhinged, degenerate performance in a romantic comedy, only for me to realize they also voiced a sweet, innocent young girl with food allergies. Rochelle May has proven this year that she can play with the best of them when she got to go toe-to-toe opposite Aaron Dismuke in Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian as the smart, nerdy gremlin of a little sister, Yuki. And then as I looked up more from her, I realized I had already heard her because I watched her as Lishu in The Apothecary Diaries. And then, recently, I saw her take on a little troubled boy named Theodore in Delico's Nursery. So suffice to say that those 3 roles alone demonstrate the massive range she has, and I just want to see her continue to grow with more and more opportunities and roles. Now, at first, for the second one, I didn't give this individual consideration because one of his roles, while fun, didn't truly have enough yet to impress me. And then, as a random marathon, I watched all of Vampire Dormitory. And this campy little slice of ham gave me an even better idea of this actor. Between Ren in Vampire Dormitory and Hiragi in Windbreaker, Nick Huber's rise is gradual, but it's becoming very present. But both of the aforementioned roles have similar elements to them, but they all are also different in the extent of their personality. I'm excited to see him continue with Hiragi in season 2 of Windbreaker, and even more excited to see what he will end up doing next.
You know,
Megan and I had the same one.
I was gonna be like, I expected you to go with Hardy on Emily Rudd. I didn't realize we were gonna be in the same boat.
Listen, I had Emily Rudd as a possible contender for a completely different award, and then I realized that I shouldn't have put her in that category to begin with because rules
Oops.
So, unfortunately, I had to take Emily Rudd. But yes, I would 100% be down for Emily Rudd, though.
So, did her performance make you guys go, whoa, hey!
That is exactly what I think of every time. Whoa, hey.
I'm sorry, the edit of Nice Legs Daisy Dukes makes a girl go, whoa, hey, lives in my head rent-free.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, honey.
Damn.
I have a TikTok to send you.
Oh, you do. I love TikToks.
I haven't seen it, and you've psionically inserted it into my brain.
Oh, yo, I'm so glad for that. That's like, you guys are all aware of the hit Australian children's show Bluey, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Are you also all aware of the hit 80s movie that has a cult following, Rocky Horror?
Yes.
Yes.
In passing.
Okay, so there's one part of Rocky Horror that they do, quote-unquote, the Rocky Horror roll call. For anybody who's never seen the movie, there's one part where they're all standing around calling each other's names out, like, Janet, Dr. Scott, Brad, Rocky.
Oh, I know what this is! I did see this!
Yeah, I posted it on the Discord. But, somebody took that scene and timed it to the Bluey opening.
Yeah. I saw this
Complete with the photoshopped heads. Going in time, it is art. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have to psionically put that in everybody's brain, too.
I love it.
That and the one year they put people calling people's names, so it's like, Rocky? No, this is Patrick.
I love it. I love it. Alright, moving on. Let's move on to our next award. Hey, Hardy!
Mm-hmm.
You have a wonderful, delicious
Oh, yes.
cut today. I missed this. I want to know, what do we got today? What's on the menu this year?
This year's golden ham is a nice prosciutto, spiral cut into thin strips and served with a sharp cheddar cheese on a Ritz cracker.
Oh my god, I fucking love prosciutto. I am such a slut for prosciutto.
I love prosciutto. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, I'm such
Hell
a
yeah.
I'm such a slut for prosciutto.
Same. Bitch, same. Anyway, if you couldn't tell what we're going to be talking about next, we have our wonderful, juicy Golden Ham Award. This is for the scene-stealing, scene-chewing, hammiest of the ham performances that we might have come across in the past year. Jackson, will you lead us off with the other host winners for this Golden Ham Award, please?
I certainly can. Amon's winner for the Golden Ham Award goes to Brandon Heinsberger for Suicide Squad Isekai. SSI, why does that sound dirty? Sorry. SSI deciding that their version of Clayface should be an over-the-top, obnoxious weeb who dresses like he's Michael Jackson in the Smooth Criminal video is probably the biggest brain creative decision, and Brandon absolutely brings the required energy. He's absolutely hilarious throughout, and I still kind of wanted to strangle him even at the very end. Excellent stuff. Andrew's winner for the Golden Ham Award goes to Ariel Graham for the 100 Girlfriends that really love you. Karane Inda is an alpha and the Omega Tsundere. Already a tall task for any voice actor, but oh my god, Ariel absolutely tears into this role with the intensity, thirst, and absolute adorkableness that this character deserves, elevated by the ridiculous anime girl screeches with the genuine emotional tenderness you wouldn't expect from a show with this title. She's locked in this award the second she got embarrassed and said she was freezing her nuts off.
Actual line of dialogue from the show.
I'm gonna need a lot of breath throughout this segment. Gigi's award for the Golden Ham Award goes to Tom Laughlin for Lovely Complex. I wrote down 13 pages of notes when I hosted the Lovely Complex episode, and at least one whole page was about me laughing over Tom's performance as Haruka, so enjoy this blinged out ham, my friends. Jamal's winner for the Golden Ham Award goes to Travis Milenix for the 100 Girlfriends who really love you. Jesus Christ, Travis, save some ham for the rest of the crew. Not since Saki K have I seen this man steal the show in such a manner, breaking the fourth wall at times. And no, I'm not counting his role as Kamikatsu, you know why. Jet's winner for the Golden Ham Award goes to Damien Haas for Delicious in Dungeon. My only point of reference for Damien prior to Delicious in Dungeon was Kiyotaka in My Happy Marriage, and this is about as far left in tone as it gets. Laos's over-enthusiasm for learning and eating about monsters is one of the biggest highlights of the show, and Damien brings the energy to match. Whether he's thinking about a new monster to eat or coming up with some zany plan, Laos's antics never fail to put a smile on my face, and Damien's vocal work here is a big part of that. one of the most fun performances of the year. Patrick's winner for the Golden Hammer Award is Keith David for Pluto. How do you adapt one of the most Shakespearean antagonists of Osamu Tezuka's canon? Cast a voice actor who was once pitted against one of Shakespeare's greatest antagonists, the Tempest Puck in Gargoyles, and Keith David portrays Dr. Tenma with such a painful empathy. Jackson's winner for the Golden Hammer Award is Ben Balmaceda for Undead Unluck. Ben is bored to play the role of the boisterous leading man in a shonen manga and lead his basketball team to nationals for a pretty girl. Hold on, I appear to have mixed up my notes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
It's fine, it works either way.
Are you good, Jackson?
Don't worry, the magic of editing.
No, that's what I wrote down. I appear to have mixed up my notes.
Oh my god! That was part of it! That was part of it. Got it. Okay. I got so confused.
I was so confused.
I'm too good! I'm too funny!
Jackson's built different.
I love it. I'm here for it, bro. Anyway, thank you, Jackson, for those award winners. Megan, will you please let us know your winners for the delicious Golden Ham Award?
How can I fucking top that?
You're gonna have to try, bitch.
I can't.
I'd like to award the Golden Ham Award to me?
Yes, the extra award. We need extra award for the year. Megan has to make another award card with Jackson's picture on it.
The Andrew Award of stealing the scene in the middle of a Doug Pop episode while not running into a screen door because you're better than Andrew goes to Jackson.
We would like to award you with this giant hunk of Canadian bacon.
Hell yeah!
Ah, my favorite, pea meal bacon.
Did you just say penial bacon?
Yeah, that's what Canadian bacon is called here. Pea meal bacon.
What?
Like penis bacon?
God. Oh my god!
PEA meal bacon.
Pea as in like the vegetable
Yeah.
pea.
Like chickpea, I think.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's like a yellow coating, so it's definitely not peas. And it's not yellow and pea for other reasons.
I'm just stuck on Megan's reaction of, you mean penis?
I would like to move on now.
They have a liquid for your bacon, and it's non-dairy.
Megan, please, your award winners for Golden
All
Ham.
right. So I had written out a completely different person as my Golden Ham, and I was writing my best director. And then I was like, son of a bitch, Megan, you're an idiot, and you almost missed one. She doesn't run a whorehouse, she runs a whore home. And that's Wendy Powell as Granny in the Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah!
You would expect me to have put, like, Jinshi or, like, Lee Haku here, right? Wrong! You know who the real star of this show is? Granny. That's right, everybody's favorite whorehouse-owning, money-grubbing little shit who keeps on trying to sell Mau Mau. Wendy Powell plays Granny like a chain-smoking New York bodega owner, and I mean that as a compliment.
Fuck, okay, I see it.
Yes, she 100% nails the dramatic moments she needs to, but this woman would sell your soul for a corn chip. And I love it, and I love Wendy Powell as this. If I had a nickel for every time Wendy Powell played an old lady in a vaguely Asian setting that was based off China and or Korea, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but now I can name them both Philip. So, hell yeah, I love you, Wendy Powell as Granny in the Apothecary Diaries. However, there is one man who has done forbidden magic. Hardy,
Yes?
the master of our hams.
Uh-oh.
Somebody has managed to do the impossible.
What's that?
Oh god.
They put black magic into the ham.
Oh, no.
Oh boy! That's a deadly combination already, oh no.
He has special eyes, everybody. Hi, Kellen Goff. You're no stranger here.
Oh no!
I call bullshit that he was Ogasawara Sadamune in The Elusive Samurai. This isn't just ham. This is Black Forest magic ham with cheese.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Kellen was bugging out as the bug-eyed Sadamune and eating the ham like he was meant to. Every time this absolute mess of a human being came out with his special eyes, I was cracking up or he was making me wish I took a shower.
Oh, Jesus.
Of course he has his dramatic moments, but come on, Mr. My Brand was in a ham-off in this show with another actor, but I need to save that slice for later. All I'm saying is this, just let Kellen Goffwood do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
I'm here for that. Kellen can do whatever sorcery he wants.
Hardy, the ham is yours.
Oh, why, thank you. As you know, there is no rule that says both of my choices can't be from the same show. This year for Golden Ham, I chose not only for two characters from the same show, but in many ways two actors playing the same character.
Oh, okay.
For reasons that I dare not spoil, I'm choosing Zeno Robinson and Paul Castro Jr. from Go Go Loser Ranger in the roles of Fighter D and Hibiki Sakurama. Because of a mix-up, sometimes you'll have Paul and Zeno splitting lines, one having to match the other actor's intensity, from fiery and intense to somber and restricted. The way these two interacted with each other made for a raucous good time, and I look forward to the next season.
Interesting.
Hell
Interesting.
yeah.
As far as an honorable mention, also from Loser Ranger, you could also have Jonah Scott, who basically plays Power Ranger Homelander.
It's true.
Alright. Golden Ham is so much fun with all of the scene-stealing, scene-chewing actors get to play with. And my god, these two actors are just running with it. It is difficult to describe to you how wackadoodle Aaron Dismuke is in Buchigiri. This character reminds me of a wannabe tough guy crypto bro who is a pussy in reality.
Nice.
Aaron is such a dramatic little douche canoe in this role, and you just can't help but watch this man steal and chew all the scenery he is in. I'm not kidding, it is a sight to behold, guys! But the second one is fun as well, because the only other role I have any attachment to is in Tribe 9, where he's this calm but kind of funny glasses-wearing mentor of sorts. Sweet lord, but that is not the case with this show, where he plays as close to almost the equivalent of a gay best friend as humanly possible. Tom Laughlin as Haruka in Lovely Complex is one of those tour de force performances that goes all over the place like the fucking Energizer Bunny. He's sweet on Koizumi, is a foil to Otane, and all the while is the biggest ladies man I have ever fucking seen. Tom was a surprise I didn't know I wanted, but by god did I love it. It's fucking fantastic. Those are our wonderful, wonderful Golden Ham winners, ladies and gents. Our next award is going to be for the Best Ensemble Cast. This one is very straightforward. It's our favorite ensemble cast of the year. So, Jackson, will you please give us the other host winners for Best Ensemble?
Let's proceed. Amon's winner for Best Ensemble goes to Delicious in Dungeon. I cannot fathom any other 4 actors playing the leads in this show. They are all beautifully cast and blend together in the exact way you'd want them to if you've read even a little bit of the manga. And that's before you get to the series' many, many side characters, equally perfectly cast and playing off the leads in just the right way. Of the many second seasons coming out in the next however many years, this is the one I am most excited for, to hear just about anyone and hear everyone interact and be ridiculous and wonder what's going wrong with Senshi and Laios some more. Andrew's winner for Best Ensemble goes to A Place Further Than the Universe. It's not always easy to convey when a group of characters sound like a tight-knit crew all coming together to take the approaching storms ahead. Expectations were high for me for a dub of Universe, but the cast of A Place Further Than the Universe truly impressed me with their chemistry in any given scene. From Xanthi, Erica, Kylie, Amelie, to the whole expedition crew, they all form an incredible unit that makes this entire dub stronger as a result of their bond. Gigi's winner for Best Ensemble goes to Lovely Complex. Every actor in this show did an outstanding job under the less than normal conditions. Please buy this Blu-ray. Y'all need to hear the insanity of these performances for yourselves. Jamal's winner of Best Ensemble goes to Sailor Moon Cosmos, the movie. All good things must come to an end, and I'm grateful for the Viz cast of Sailor Moon for almost a decade of rekindling my childhood. From Stephanie Shea as Sailor Moon herself to new additions like Carrie Kiranen and Allegra Kark as fiery redheads. I'm forever grateful. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if the ending of this movie is what inspired Robbie Damon to create Date Everything.
Oh my god, I want to play that game so bad.
Jet's winner for Best Ensemble goes to Pluto. I honestly could have given this one to Frieren, but Urasawa stuff in particular tends to live and die by how big and interesting their ensembles are, and Pluto is no different. We get to know a lot of different characters over the course of its run, and pretty much each and every one is given a phenomenal dub performance, despite boasting a cast ranging from fresher faces like Jason Vanderbeek and Carmen Nihad, to established actors like Laura Stahl and Keith David. If you've asked me to give my favorite performance, I'd probably give a different answer each time. And that alone speaks volumes to how great of an ensemble this dub has. Patrick's winner of Best Ensemble is The First Slam Dunk. In a film with as many moving parts as The First Slam Dunk, everyone gets something to do, and there are plenty of emotional story arcs to go around. The cast and NYAV Post get that, and everyone got a real chance to shine. Jackson's winner for Best Ensemble goes to Pluto. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so good. I can't just pick one person to highlight. The whole cast here is a standout.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jackson. Megune, will you give us your winners for Best Ensemble, please?
Sure. My first ensemble award is gonna go to probably the very obvious answer that everybody is going to say. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Frieren has a reputation online of being one of the best modern dubs ever made. And it's not wrong. This is in large part thanks to the cast under the direction of Jade Saxon. There are so many great to iconic performances in this dub. Mallory as Frieren, Jill as Fern, Jordan Dash Cruz as Stark, to Ben Phillips as Dakin, Clifford Chapin as Himmel. There's not a single actor wasted on the show from main lead to Walla. It is actually so hard to pick who would go into the best supporting role for the fan vote that it cannibalized on itself. And for anybody who wonders what that means, everybody picked a different person.
Yeah. And then nobody got in for best supporting because of it.
Yeah.
That's what shit that happens. We have a rule where we can only allow one representative in a single show.
Otherwise, the whole supporting cast part could have literally just been Frieren characters.
Correct.
We're not the Crunchyroll Awards. So please check this stuff out. My second ensemble show of the year edged out what a lot of people, I think, were thinking I was going to put, as well as 3 other shows. I went into Windbreaker expecting cool fight scenes. Yay! What I got was not only pretty good popcorn, but a core cast that shone bright. Anchored by Austin Tyndall's feral catable performance as Sakura, Windbreaker became a treat of coordinated vocal punches to my heart and my mind with some fun casting. I also found some of the casting to be immensely refreshing, such as Dallas Reed as the softer Suo, who keeps everyone just at arm's reach, instead of having them as a loud, another screamy boy. I enjoyed having Aaron Campbell be able to flip from the soft and dorky Umemiya to a man who could analyze your soul like some scouter. This might be one of my favorite casts that Jeremy Inman has ever put together. So please check out the boys of Beauforine if you can.
Beautiful. Thank you, Megan. Hardy, will you give us your winners for Best Ensemble, please?
What is a family if not a D&D party?
Hey!
And what is a campaign without a few good meals along the way? In Delicious in Dungeon, directors Alex Von David and Lucian Dodge brought together the core cast consisting of Davian Haas, Emily Rudd, Casey Mongillo, and Sungwon Cho, and gave us a dub filled with laughs, scares, and the occasional drooling sound. But can machines have families too? Can they experience the pain of loss and regret that we humans do? In order to answer that question, director Patrick Seitz brought together a stellar cast for Pluto, featuring newcomers like Jason Vanderbeek and Lisa Raymold, industry veterans such as Mike Pollock and Fred Tatasciore, and even Hollywood actors like Keith David and Adrian Pasdar. Yes, the guy from Heroes. The result is truly a menagerie of voices new and old that must be experienced to be believed.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you, Hardy. I love that. I love talking about ensemble casts because it can bring together such brilliant cohesion and harmony that just makes the entire show shine. And these 2 sets of ensembles are just downright enjoyable to see unfold. So I was talking to Megan the other day, as she was marathoning a show to prep for today's Dubbie Awards recording. And the first thing she says to me is, I see why you like this show.
Yep.
I have no idea what it is about me liking anime lately that has a crew of delinquents as the main focus, but my god, Windbreaker's Ensemble is a treat. Under the direction of Jeremy Inman and company, this cast of fine gentlemen certainly shows the importance of found family, all while causing lots of violence in the process. But performances from major characters such as Austin Tyndall, Aaron Campbell, and Dallas Reed, to our first set of rival characters like Derek Snow and Chris Guerrero, Windbreaker is dynamic and fun to listen to. And we're right in time for season 2 to start, so I'm so hyped as hell right now. Between this and finally seeing season 3 of Tokyo Revengers, I'm so fucking psyched right now. You have no idea.
By the way, the other question was, which guy would I find the hottest?
Yes.
The answer will shock everybody.
I forgot what you said.
You're gonna find out.
Oh, they did win. Okay, so I'll save myself for that one. Now, I hope that little appetizer made you hungry for the next course, because the ensemble of Delicious and Dungeon is ready to serve. Alex Von David and Lucian Dodge are at the helm of this charming show full of fantasy and food, and they, along with casting director Mami Okada, gave this show one hell of a buffet for us to enjoy. Our main group of adventurers, Damian Haas, Emily Rudd, Sungwon Cho, and Casey Mongelo, all bring this amazing energy and humor to their respective roles, all the while bringing out the heart and soul from each other in the process. And even the secondary cast comes in clutch with even more diverse performances such as Laura Stahl, Cedric Williams, Lisa Remmold, and even Mick Lauer. It's a feast for the ears with this crew, so you should go check it out. Y'all took the 2 that I had.
Lamau.
I'm like, damn.
Lol.
Lamau.
Ruffle Lamau.
Ruffle Lamau. Alright, so our first Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award is for Best Ensemble. These are the awards, by the way, that are selected and voted on by you guys, the folks at home. Which, same qualifications as the normal award, so it makes a lot of sense. I have a wheel decide for who's going to
God,
the
the
Viewer's Choice
party
stuff.
run, she's got the wheel back.
You, bitch, you're the one who just reminded me when you decided to make jokes at Noah's expense.
Which I have not done yet.
What are we, a Yu-Gi tuber with a new series? Sorry, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber joke that every time someone needs to make new content, they get out a wheel. I don't know why.
By the way, guys, if you keep Patreoning us and Ko-fiing us, next year we will make shitty PNG tubers and do the entire dubbies for PNG. Hardy, you can be a goat.
Yay.
Andrew will roleplay Joey Wheeler.
Anyway.
The role of Tristan in The Monkey Robot will be played by Noah Clue.
There's your joke at Noah's expense! Anyway.
We got our digs in.
Anyway. With that being said, I think it's time to start with our first Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award. And I'm just spinning the wheel to see who's going to read it first. Hey! Jackson, my love. Will you do us the honor of reading the nominees for Best Ensemble?
Certainly. Your nominees for Best Ensemble, as voted by our viewers, are The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, under the direction of Helena Wattstrom and Kevin Thelwell. A Place Further Than the Universe, under the direction of Michelle Rojas, Ben Balmaceda, and Natalie Rose. The Apothecary Diaries, under the direction of Sean Gann, Chris George, and Michelle Rojas. Dead Dead Demons Dead 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 Destruction, under the direction of Carl Willems. Delicious and Dungeon, under the direction of Alex Von David and Lucian Dodge. Freyren, Beyond Journey's End, under the direction of Jad Saxton, Jill Harris, Jordan Dash Cruz, Kevin Thelwell, and Morgan LeRae. Go Go Loser Ranger, under the direction of Michael Sinter-Nicholas, David and Jordan Chen, and Stephanie Shea. Pluto, under the direction of Patrick Seitz and Kristen Perotti. Suicide Squad Isekai, under the direction of Kyle Colby-Jones and Shannon Reed. And Undead Unluck, under the direction of Tony Oliver.
Alright, Jackson, who's the winner?
And the winner is Freyren, Beyond Journey's End, under the direction of Jade Saxton, Jill Harris, Jordan Dash Cruz, Kevin Thelwell, and Morgan LeRae.
Yay!
Yay! love that! Congratulations to the cast and crew of Freerun. Moving on, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about Best Sound Mixing. This is a fun little more technical award where we highlight and credit those ADR engineers, mixing engineers, those doing the more nitty-gritty work and putting these dubs together. Jackson, would you do us the honors of letting us know the winners for the other hosts, please?
Will do. For Best Sound Mixing, Amon's winner is Michael Archaki and Sammy Oakland for the first slam dunk. So many efforts, so much crowd noise, and you'd never know that they aren't being done in the original language. It sounds like real basketball all the way through. Andrew's winner for Best Sound Mixing is Zachary Harris and David Kreitz and Nathaniel Harrison for Windbreaker. You know there's a real art to making a punch, a kick, and a fucking smashing of foreheads against each other sound convincing. And you're gonna make it sound like it really hurts. Not to mention the grit and violence of a good street fight that comes in across the mix of this dub. From battle cries to delinquent gang war fisticuffs, Windbreaker is a show that sounds like it's gonna hurt when a motherfucker gets smashed to the ground in the best possible way.
I love that same sentence. Motherfucker gets smashed on the floor.
Gonna have a street fight!
Japan, where's my Windbreaker River City Girls game?
Oh shit, yes, let's go. I'm here for it.
Jamal's winner for Best Sound Mixing is Jonathan Arbarca for Go-Go Loser Ranger. What makes the mixing of Go-Go Loser Ranger stand out from the rest is the balance of background music, environmental destruction, and combination of the fighters, their disguises, and all the filters applied to them. And Jonathan does a splendid job with the mixing, making me feel immersed in the anime and the dub as a whole. Jet's winner for Best Sound Mixing is Kevin Reeves for Pluto. Pluto is a story whose core is about the robots exploring what it means to be human, and that means having several robot characters with heavily vocal filters whose humanity still has to come through in their delivery. Balancing that with a lot of the more natural-sounding performances cannot have been an easy thing to mix, but Kevin managed to make every performance come through clear and smooth, whether it was a robot maid mourning the loss of her husband, or the madness of Brow 1589, and to help them to feel as human as every other member of the cast. Patrick's winner for Best Sound Mixing is Benjamin Harrington and Michael Brooks for Delicious in Dungeon. Jackson's winner for Best Sound Mixing is Michael Arhaki and Sam Lee Oken for the first slam dunk. I can still hear the gym shoes squeaking, and the gentle voiceover, and the screams of anguish. It is ingrained in my brain when I think of this production.
Awesome. It's my turn.
Yes.
So my first award, I have to go because I actually didn't put the people in here.
Thank you, Amon, for looking that up for me.
Yeah.
Oops-a-doodle.
Also, thank you, Amon, for looking that up for me.
God damn.
I'm also going to give Michael Archaki and Sammy Oakland my first sound mixing award for the first slam dunk. Another year, another sound mixing award for NYAV Post. Not only did the team have to get into the crowd noise of the arena, but also match the soft, melancholy tone of the film with that effort. Of all the things, it's the scene with no dialogue, just the sound of the crowds and the effects that got me most. To be able to craft a soundscape into that dub is no small feat. To have your actors' lines flow with the tempo and rhythm is why NYAV Post is one of the most unmatched in the industry. Almost contrasting the first slam dunk is Zachary Harris, David Kreitz, and Nathaniel Harrison's work on Windbreaker. It's a show that's loud, energetic, and yet soft like the Beaufreen Boys. The way you feel when the punches hit these boys, laying it all on the line, draws you in. Sure, it's not a fine whiskey, but it's a feeling like you're in the Aryan Theater watching two teenage boys beat the shit out of each other senseless as they work out of your feeling. It's the weight that you feel that gets this award.
Thank you. Hardy, can you give us your winners for Best Sound Mixing, please?
Sure thing. It's going to be short and sweet. Quick question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Robots or monsters? What's the better sci-fi action enemy?
Porque los dos.
I gotta go with the Jaegers here.
To help answer that question, Philip Nauman and Kevin Reeves brought their A-game to bring the mechanical residents of Pluto to life, while Jose Sandoval and Nathaniel Harrison injected the monstrous kaiju of kaiju number 8 with absolute terror. Who's the winner here? The listeners! Both shows sound fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. I will first and foremost always admit that sound mixing is not my strongest suit. Maybe it's because I'm not familiar with the technical aspects and work that goes into it as much as I wish or I should be. But nonetheless, I want to recognize the shows that I thought had wonderful engineering and mixing poured into them. First, let's talk about one of my favorite things when it comes to good sound mixing. Monster noises! I seriously love the extra effort and detail that can be put into a show with ghosts or monsters, or in this case, kaiju. The team of ADR engineer Jose Sandoval and mix engineer Nathaniel Harris clearly had the time of their lives working on kaiju number 8. The kaiju sound menacing and alien, making for a great touch. However, they also didn't lose the show's core elements either, because this show can be really, really loud. Losing the dialogue at any given time could lead to problems. But this was avoided masterfully. Also, fun little touches such as how Kafka sounds when he's in his kaiju form, compared to other kaiju, just makes some very interesting aspects of the show. All this to say, well done, and I hope you both get to come back and enjoy Season 2 later this year. For my second best sound mixing award, I really had to sit and think about this one because kaiju number 8 was the only one I wrote down until a few hours before we hit the record button. I went back through the list of shows I had watched this past year, and then inspiration finally struck when I saw a labor of love that I enjoyed a lot, which took literal years to accomplish. When it was announced that the 2000s anime series Lovely Complex was being released with a brand new English dub by Sound Cadence Studios, I think I lost my mind. And what's more, this has been a project ongoing for, I believe, the past 5 years or so, because it was being recorded in small waves while other projects were being done. The sheer amount of time and work put into this by everyone involved, but most notably, the engineering and mixing staff, was just insane for an older show, and I truly think this needs to be recognized. So, I'd like to give this award to, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounced your name, lead ADR engineer Patrick Morphy, ADR engineers Alexandra Kaiser, Lindsay Roberts, Logan Laidlaw, Natalie Van Sistine, Paloma Ortiz, Sawyer Philaderer, Skylar Kilborn, Wyatt Baker, and Zhaojing Zhao, Natalie Sinstein and Patrick Morphy for mixing and mastering, and Gregory Mahan and Lindsay Roberts for mixing and mastering assistants. I said this during the Lovely Complex episode, but I really hope that this project succeeds so Discotheque can continue to take those risks and dub longer shows, because I think this was totally worth it. I am so sorry, Megan, you will have to put all that information on my winner card this year.
You can't see it, but I'm flicking you off right now.
I am so fucking sorry.
No, you're not.
I looked up to who was on the engineer and mixing teams. I'm like, fuck, there's like 15 names.
I'm just literally gonna put you know who you are. I deserve so much. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
I know.
Or am I?
Oh, are you? Oh, only one way to tell. Why is there a gif of Celty in the chat?
Oh, that's gonna be me.
It's always a good time for Durarara gifts.
You're not wrong. So moving on, let's move on to... We're going to go back to performance awards, but we're going to specifically go back to talking about more individual performance awards. We're going to kick this off with the best supporting performance categories. So first we have best supporting performance in a dub for comedy. Jackson, will you lead us off with the other host winners, please?
Will do. For best supporting performance in a comedy, Amon's winner is Sungwon Cho for Delicious in Dungeon. It feels like a testament to Sungwon's skills that one of his funniest performances is mostly him doing extremely weird things while being completely po-faced about it. Just giving simple descriptions of what he's doing, it's just that whatever he's doing is cooking and eating the weirdest monsters that you would normally never put in your mouth. What a great time to be alive and watching anime. The "unfortunately her opponent is very dumb" guy is winning awards, good for him. Andrew's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy is also Sungwon Cho for Delicious in Dungeon. Sungwon has had a hell of a career as a voice actor for the past several years, but frankly, his Senshi is an all-time career performance from him. As silly as it is Ernest, Senshi is a man who loves cooking and giving to and respecting nature, and Sungwon captures all of that emotional depth and warmth while making him the best single mother a squad of adventurers could ever ask for. Great job, Sungwon Cho. Go get that bread. Gigi's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy goes to Hayden Davio for Lovely Complex. To whomever reads this one aloud, that'd be me, I expect you to stretch your vocal muscles, so... Hayden, I am writing this comment in all caps as I tribute to your performance here because I feel for your vocal cords. But not mine for some reason. Thank you for bringing such passion to this project, and anyone who has watched the Lovecom dub should agree with me. It's been 6 episodes. Ah!
It has been 6 episodes. Girl.
Jamal's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy goes to Corey Petit for VTuber legend How I Went Viral After Forgetting to Turn Off My Stream. It was a hard decision to decide between 100 Girlfriends and VTuber legend for Corey, but having heard her extensive rage in the latter as Airi Sonokaze, it amazes me how someone can sound so sweet and demure while keeping a straight face at times, to flipping a switch, becoming unhinged, and sounding like a mafia don. Acting, it's wild, man. Jet's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy goes to Cassie Uwulu for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Could have given this to nearly any of the girlfriends in 100 GFs, but there's something to be said for making a character who's meant to come off as robotic feel funny, and Cassie pulls that off beautifully. Nano's wacky attempts to find the most efficient solutions to any problem are almost always funny, and Cassie's delivery does a great job of getting that humor across while still maintaining the monotone. It can't have been easy to pull off, but Cassie made it work, and was a big part of what made the dub click with me. Patrick's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy goes to Sungwon Cho for Delicious in Dungeon. Whether pestering orcs for bread yeast or making sure his companions get enough to eat because... spoilers, Senshi is a cinnamon roll, and Sungwon Cho plays him as a cinnamon roll. Jackson's winner for Best Performance in a Comedy Supporting Role is Sungwon Cho for Delicious in Dungeon. The matter-of-factness Senshi uses to recite recipes is weaponized for great effect when applied to outlandish suggestions and giving Chilchuk the talk.
Chilchuk, I think that talk's a little late, guys.
Yup.
You know, some adult men, some fathers of 3 could still use the talk.
Yeah, like Noah.
Particularly about protection.
Oh my god.
Does that make Noah the Chilchuk of the podcast?
God.
No, Noah can cook, though.
Noah can cook, though.
Oh my god, that makes Noah Senshi and Chilchuk's Omegaverse, baby.
Oh god damn it! Oh, why am I here for it right
happened? What?
I'm here for it. Noah, we love you. We love you the pieces.
I'm sorry, Noah. We rolled a wheel.
Megan spun a wheel. I am so sorry. And it's kind of unfortunate because Noah did abstain for awards this year. So it's kind of unfortunate that he's the one that it landed on.
Yeah, he's not participating this year, but we can still feel him in the room with us.
Yes.
Short presence.
Yes. Noah, we love you. We really do. Anyway, Megan, can you give us your best supporting performances in comedy, please?
You know, Andrew likes to eat. That makes him lay out some Senshi's Omegaverse, baby.
Shit.
By the way, Omegaverse is a foreshadowing tool for this episode. I, too, would like to hop on a train for a certain show to give it an award. And that is for Sarah Ragsdale as Shizuka Yoshimoto in the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. There's something to be said for an actor who has to play a quote-unquote silent character. Who isn't, actually silent. While Shizuka's introduction in the 100 Girlfriends was more dramatic, enough to nearly make me cry. That's right, the haha funny harem horny show almost made me cry my eyes out. To the levels Fruits Basket did at one point. The show about the guy who has 100 girlfriends because someone got too busy watching Castle in the Sky.
What?
Oh yeah, no, that's the entire plot setup for 100 Girlfriends. You should watch it, it's great. I have to give Sarah Ragsdale chops for playing her. And by playing her, I mean giving emotion to a text-to-speech device that is Shizuka's voice, who speaks like a fantasy novel. She makes this girl so damn cute that you want to protect the small floof so much. I love this performance so much, how Sarah can make you both laugh and cry with a very limited vocabulary. So don't worry, Sarah, you didn't fluff this up. And for my other supporting role in a comedy, everybody with sensitive ears, please take off your headphones at this time.
I'm gonna take mine off. I sense screaming and the potential.
Oh Lord, Toki! Have you ever wondered what it would be like if Rico Fajardo played Koro Sensei's unhinged Japanese ancestor?
Oh no.
Rico Fajardo, in a year where he not only gives one of the best dramatic performances of the year, absolutely steals the show as Suwa Yoshikage in The Elusive Samurai. He could have easily taken this Golden Ham Award for himself, but what's to say he didn't swipe a piece off of Kellen's plate? He plays this absolute man-child with aplomb, nailing the serious moments in the show when he needs to, but dear God, this god's performance will have you in stitches, from blinding people with his prophecies to his kinkier tastes. Rico steals the entire show of The Elusive Samurai from the second he is on screen to the finish.
Damn, alright.
You can put your headphones in back now, I'm sorry. Remember, kids, that's my mating call. I'm hoping that Roots has heard it.
Ow, my frickin' ears.
That's every car alarm within the 3-mile radius of my house.
And Discord picked up none of that.
And at least 2 dogs, and for some reason, Scotch.
Oh, Christ. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Hardy, would you care to give us your winners for Best Supporting Performance in a Comedy?
Why, sure. I consider Kaiju number 8 to be a sci-fi action comedy, which is why I decided to put Landon McDonald as Shoshiro Hoshina here. Landon has cracked me up in the past with his performances as Rompo and Bungo Stray Dogs and Kazuki and Buddy Daddies, and Soshiro is absolutely no exception. When he's not getting serious against a powerful kaiju, or giving an ominous stare to an unruly recruit, the guy is an absolute laugh riot. Speaking of laugh riots, I'm very surprised it took me this long to give him a Dubbie, but Sungwon Cho as Senshi in Delicious in Dungeon is absolutely phenomenal. He managed to be sincere, heartfelt, knowledgeable, and downright sweet all at the same time. I just want to give him a great big hug right after eating one of his tasty dungeon dishes, that is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hardy. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Comedy and how effective it is in the eye of the beholder. And for these 2 winners in the supporting category, they have some fun moments and roles they get to play with where I think everyone can kind of relate to them in one way or another, resulting in those funny elements to shine. I would like to have Nobuko be my best friend and hype woman, but on the condition that she be voiced by the amazing Hayden Davio. Lovely Complex was probably one of the biggest left field dubs for the past year, but one of the biggest highlights from it was Hayden's portrayal of Risa's best friend, Nobuko. They take the sweet puppy love with the hype woman energy and brings it up to 11. Not to mention all the fourth wall breaking making for even more chaos and fun. But that isn't to say Hayden gets to have their dramatic flair as well, because the latter half of the show sees turmoil and drama for Nobuko and her darling Heikichi, voiced as equally fun by Hayden's husband, Alejandro Saab. Hayden is just fucking brilliant and is a standout among the entire cast of this dub. We all need a Nobuko in our lives. That's just a given. I also want to give this next little goober a hug. I don't know if there is much else to be said about Sungwon Cho as Senshi in Delicious in Dungeon that hasn't been said already. Sungwon is a name that has been growing more and more in the voice acting realm for a while now, with his role in Ranking of Kings a few years ago garnering a lot of praise. But I don't think anything would have prepared us for the fun that was Senshi in Delicious in Dungeon. This caring dwarf, who knows his way around the kitchen, is just filled with such heart and sometimes childlike wonder that is just infectious. And let's not get into the fact that Senshi is also effectively the dungeon's caretaker, and making sure it is able to continue to thrive. Sungwon is just an absolute delight to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing him when Season 2 rolls around. Yay!
Yay!
Alright, next category. Same thing, but we're switching genres.
It's time to be serious.
It's time to be super serious. Super serial.
Well, guys, we're super serial.
We're super serial, guys.
Heh.
Alright. The next award is going to be for, wow, where the fuck am I? The next award is
I believe you're in what they call Connecticut.
Maybe? I don't fucking know.
You're recording a podcast.
Am I
So you're
now?
in the pocket dimension.
Can our pocket dimension get, like, a caned?
Yeah, you're within the prison realm where Nicol Bolas is trapped forever, and Jace is here for some reason.
Come on! You had to bring... Fuck this. I'm going to the plane with a Johnny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're gonna be
Come
talking
on, Lord
about
Gishath, we're out of here.
Oh, Jesus. Best supporting performance in a dub for drama. God damn it. Jackson, would you be so kind as to give us the winners for the other hosts, please?
Can you already feel the drama on this podcast?
Oh, it is coming out in spades.
Here's what our hosts have to say for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama. Amon's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama goes to Keith David for Pluto. This particular category was unusually rich this year, with a bevy of actors turning in some of their best work ever and making their choice really, really difficult. But I have to give it to Keith David for one simple reason. When I was watching Pluto and got to the scene where Tenma is telling Astro about what a flawed child Tobio was, I had thought, wow, Keith David is the greatest actor to have ever lived. And I have not heard anything since to refute that, so he gets the reward. Andrew's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama goes to Cameron Nikad for Pluto. Cameron is a voice actor whose work I've been following in online videos for years prior to him going pro, and I always thought he had what it takes. So I'm so damn happy that not only has he in one of the best dramatic dubs of the year, but he is probably my favorite performance in the entire show. Abdullah is a compelling, engaging, tragic, and almost terrifying character on what rage and revenge does to a sentient being and corrupts them. Cameron brings this character to life and commands his presence every time his voice can be heard. Gigi's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama goes to Regan Murdoch in Black Butler Public School Arc. I have a type, it's Edgar Redmond, and Regan encapsulated his voice perfectly. Jamal's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama goes to Alexis Tipton for Date Alive 5. Alexis pours her heart out and gets her heart ripped out, having an emotional roller coaster ride coming to grips with Kurumi in the penultimate season of Date Alive. Mario Tanaka kicks the door down like Big Bird.
Hi, Mario!
God damn.
Jet would also like to award Cameron Nikad for Pluto. Was really tempted to give this to Keith David, but Cameron's performance as Professor Abdullah just barely edged it out. Cameron does a great job of portraying a man whose only driving force is hate for the people who took everything away from him, and whether he's trying to obscure his motives or actively wallowing in vengeance, that hate can be felt through every inch of Cameron's performance as part of what helps to make the character so human in spite of it. Even in a dub filled with career highlight performances, his was a real standout. Patrick's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Dub for Drama is Josh Petersdorf for Ishura. Come on. Shulk is a talking skeleton spearman with snark. Need I say more? Jackson's winner for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama goes to Ann Yocto for Undead Unluck. Quietly supporting the team from the shadows as the narrator turned character, Anna Un has had an extremely outsized impact on the cast that will be felt for the rest of the show. Asterisk, if we ever get more.
Alright. It's my turn.
It's Meganae's turn.
This is going to involve your boyfriend again, Stephanie, because he's basically my brother.
Oh boy.
Because he's not only my brother figure in life, he is also my brother in smut.
Oh, yep, okay.
Listen, I don't kink shame him, he doesn't kink shame me. But at one point, we were having a conversation in which he said foreshadowing was a narrative device. When I first met this character, I lamented, damn, it sucks he's evil because I really think this character design is great.
Oh god.
But I'm glad I stuck around and got to see this arc. My first Best Supporting Performer in a Drama award goes to Chris Guerrero as Joe Togame in Windbreaker. I think this is probably one of Chris Guerrero's career best performances. Threatening and cocky, the layers of humanity unfold as he has a conversation with his fists is some of the best things I have seen. Seeing the pain of becoming the bad guy for your friend peeled away by Chris and the way that he inflects his voice with the pain and anguish of self-loathing. Chris has always had an impressive range, but this was an entirely new level. I am very glad I chose to binge Windbreaker, because holy shit, Chris is amazing in it. I could have also given Chris underrated performance, but because I put him here, I didn't. I think this is also an underrated performance. I think a lot of people who watched Windbreaker just didn't talk about it. But for my other best supporting performance in a drama, I was going into the show, I expected greatness. The issue you get with waiting so long for a dub of something is that you expect this pressure. To say that I'm familiar with the plays further than the universe is an understatement. I've watched the show several times subbed. This, along with another performance in the dub, really got my perspective to change on it. Caitlin Elizabeth plays Gin Toto as a woman guilty and full of regret. That awkward pain that gets transferred into aloofness is something I felt rarely ever gets captured in anime dubbing. Caitlin makes Gin come to life in a way I never felt, that I could finally understand the pain that she feels. And that's a lot for someone who considers this to be one of her all-time favorite shows. I also felt in such a strong performance, in a strong show, that this performance was overlooked a ton, so I wanted to make sure that I highlighted it here. So hats off to you, Caitlin.
Beautiful. Hardy, will you give us your winners for Best Supporting Performance in a Drama?
I will happily. A lot of people gave up on Attack on Titan near the end, and honestly, I don't blame them. One thing that never wavered, however, was the voice acting, and the final season it gave us some of its greatest performances. But above all of them, no one did it better than Jesse James Greeley as Armin. Despite the questionable writing and plot choices, Armin had some of his most emotional and intense outbursts in the entire series, and Jesse has been there since the beginning, letting them rip. To say this woman deserves her flowers is an understatement. Now, I mentioned earlier that I usually use the Underrated Performance Award for celebrities. I am not doing that this year. I refuse to refer to this actor as underrated in any way, shape, or form. This actor has been throughout my childhood in shows and movies where their voice was instantly recognizable, and even though this is only their second anime credit, I can give them no less than the top marks. Voice actors may come and go, but there was, and always will be, only one Keith David.
Hell yeah.
His role as Dr. Tenma in Pluto was absolutely top-notch, as he always is, and as such he is my lock for Best Supporting in a Drama. His voice will truly accelerate your life.
Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
Hey, Hardy.
Uh-huh.
Would you say he's a Goliath in voice acting?
Oh, absolutely. And he has spawned several imitators, but never duplicators.
Oh boy. Oh boy. The drama categories always seem to trip me up because of how awesome the performances are that I see throughout the year. And this year was especially hard to finalize my second winner, that it only took me until right before we recorded to finally pick one. Dude, this year's awards are fucking hard. There was one individual, though, that has been locked in for like 3/4 of the year. And while we tend to be exceedingly used to the loud, brash roles he's done in the past, we also tend to forget how capable he is at portraying the more quiet and subtle characters. So, you know what? I have to give Clifford Chabon this award because that is just what Himmel would do. As the party's hero, Cliff was able to bring out a more noble aspect to the role that borderlines princely sometimes because of the importance his reputation as a hero is. However, you can easily see this as a mask where underneath Cliff is also able to display the vulnerabilities, including his thoughts on mortality compared to Friren's. It's a softer, gentler side of Cliff's range that I haven't heard in quite some time, always making it a welcome change. Himmel is the reason Frieren decides to start a new journey, so making this performance memorable certainly does its job in drawing the viewer in more and more. So big kudos to you, sir. For this next actor, they have been stuffed into these loud and energetic roles for several years that, from my understanding, kept this person in a box for a long time, which I can only imagine how frustrating that can be as an actor. But when the right role comes along that makes you feel free and play with more subtleties and complexities, it makes for some beautiful magic. My understanding is for Dallas Reed, they were at a point where they felt doomed to play the high energetic comedic characters. But along comes Little Suo in Windbreaker, and it's like a switch just flipped. With their mindset as context, you can tell that this is the role where Dallas fell back in love with performing. The character is calming, funny, insightful, and at times a little dangerous. There are so many layers Dallas got to explore in just the first season, but you can tell there is so much more to uncover. I am so thrilled that Suo came at the right time for Dallas, and it gave them the chance to reintroduce themselves as an actor who is more than just the screaming ball of energy. You fabulous human being. I hope more doors continue to open as a new stage of your career begins to blossom.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of God, please let Suo eat something.
Okay, our next award, folks, is our Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award for Best Supporting Performance.
Yay!
I wonder who the Wheel Decide is going to pick. Hardy, will you please read us the nominees for Best Supporting Performance?
It would be my pleasure. Your nominees for Viewer's Choice Best Supporting Performance are Ben Balbaceda, The First Slam Dunk, Sung-Won Cho, Delicious in Dungeon, Hayden Daviau, Lovely Complex, Keith David, Pluto, Rico Fajardo, The Apothecary Diaries, Lyndon McDonald, Kaiju Number 8, Kaylee Mills, A Place Further Than the Universe, Robert Pattinson, The Boy and the Heron, Dallas Reed, Windbreaker, and Jonah Scott, Go-Go Loser Ranger. And the winner is...
Drumroll, please.
Sung-Won Cho, Delicious in Dungeon.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay!
Bread.
Bread makes you fat?
My neighbors upstairs just had a baby, so I am so sorry. Shit.
Well, you can get them some bread.
This is true. I can do that. Congratulations to Sung-Won for the win there. Fabulous. Okay. Oh boy. It's time to talk about one of my favorite awards. And I will call it by its full fucking name. We are now going to be talking about the Jesse James Greeley Award for voice acting Black Magic. If y'all don't know the history of this award effectively came about because Jesse James Greeley is a fucking savant.
Not where this comes from. She's just the perfecter.
Well, it was Ian Sinclair.
Once again,
it was Ian
thank
Sinclair. It was Ian Sinclair first, but Jesse James Greeley just perfected it, and that's why it's named after her.
Should also be called the One Time Megan Watched Carnival and was really dumb edition.
That's right, because you got Ian mixed up with Tatum.
Yep.
Yep, that's where it originally came from, and then Blood Cave Battlefront came into the picture, and Jesse just, stole everything.
Honestly, let's be real. It's not even Blood Blockade Battlefront this the reason this is called the Jesse James Greeley Award. It was that one year where Jesse James Greeley was it was Yuri Kotsky, the lead from Drifters, that one dude in Ruby, and some creature from Monster Hunter Stories. And they were all the same person. And everyone's like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, so yeah, Jesse perfected this.
I will say this. This is all... Hardy is the reason why it's called the Jesse James Greeley Award. Because I believe Hardy is the one that kept pointing it out to us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah!
Trans women are too powerful and God had to nerf them in some way.
It's true.
Yep. Anyway, this award effectively is for the actors who gave the most fucking insane performances that we feel like they had to summon a demon, sacrifice their firstborn, sell their organs on the black market. We can't fucking believe that these performances even exist. Jackson, will you please give us the winners from the other hosts, please?
Will do. Amon's winner for the Voice Acting Black Magic Award is Robert Pattinson for The Boy and the Heron. A lot has already been said about Pattinson doing that thing with his voice that I don't think there's anything I can add to it that I didn't already say in our episode. So instead, just imagine that gif of Ron Burgundy going, "I don't believe you." Maybe the editor can slap it on screen for people that haven't seen it. That's really all I got at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Andrew's winner for Voice Acting Black Magic Awards goes to Alejandro Saab for Kaiju number 8. What the actual fuck? I am no stranger to Alejandro's many talents, but by God, I never knew he could play such an inhuman creature quite like Kaiju number 9. Genuinely sounds like he's channeling an ever-growing, ever-evolving predator like the Imperfect Cell or a slasher villain. He's so cold, so alien, yet with a dangerously insatiable childlike curiosity and a quest for knowledge. Got a good laugh at him saying, "Oh, I'm in danger."
Yep, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Gigi's winner for Voice Acting Black Magic Award goes to Ben Balmaceda for Undead Unluck. I know Ben from More Than a Married Couple, which I have given a ton of accolades for, and when my boyfriend picked up this show to watch, I was not expecting him to play Andy and break me into pieces. See what I did there? Jamal's winner for Voice Acting Black Magic Award goes to Molly Zhang for The Apothecary Diaries. Although I'm familiar with her voice now, I did not recognize her at the time in Apothecary Diaries. I appreciate the sensuous and playful tone she gives the character of Lady Gyokyo, a mistress I'd like to be friends with. Maybe with some benefits. Jet's winner for Voice Acting Black Magic Award goes to Sungwon Cho for Pluto this time. I've heard a good amount of Sungwon Cho's work at this point, and I can pick him out a little more easily, but I've never heard him do something quite like Brow 1589. His performance as a robot hand elector here is extremely captivating and does a good job portraying the mindset of a robot that can understand what it means to kill, and whose motives you can never quite pin down, while still making it clear that this willingness to kill also means that he understands what it means to be human, and Sungwon Cho's performance gets all that nuance across through one of the creepiest vocal filters I've ever heard. Black magic indeed. Patrick's award for Voice Acting Black Magic goes to Robert Pattinson for The Boy and the Heron. Look, first voiceover role ever, and he comes in, workshops a voice instead of just letting his vision take over, and goes full-on feral goblin mode in a way live action struggles to allow him. I've got a lot of respect for him for how much respect he gave the part. Jackson's award for Voice Acting Black Magic goes to Robert Pattinson for The Boy and the Heron. I am here for his post-stardom, blank check, experimental face. Let Robert Pattinson play more little freaks!
Yes! Hell yeah. I love the clap back too, right there. I love that. I love it. Beautiful.
Dear Robert Eggers, work together again. I know you can let him and Willem have fun.
I want to put Robert Pattinson and Daniel Radcliffe in a movie together.
Oh my god.
They're both in that same part of their career.
It
would be beautiful.
No, yeah, it would be so fucking brilliant.
Swiss
please.
Army Man 2.
Swiss harder.
Is that the one with the farting corpse?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Reunite Daniel Radcliffe and Robert Pattinson. Let's go. Alright, Megan, please give us your winners for Voice Acting Black Magic.
I was gonna say reunite them, and then I remembered.
Yeah, bitch! Harry Potter!
Listen, I don't talk about turf time.
Fair.
Not when we're talking about the all-powerful trans woman Jesse James Greeley's award.
You are 100% right, and I apologize for that.
Alright, first up, I would like to preface that this Black Magic Award can also be called Megan's Shaq, I'm sorry I didn't know your game award. Hi, Joshua Waters.
Yup, okay. I know where this is going.
Hi, Joshua Waters as Hisashi Otomo in Twilight Out of Focus. When I started this, I had assumed that Joshua was Mao, the little twink. I was wrong.
Surprise, bitch.
You know that one gif of, like, jaw hitting floor?
Yes.
That was me when I realized he was the ultra sexy Hisashi. I knew Joshua could play older or older looking characters. Hi, I'm like one of the 7 people who watched the Inuo dub. But goddamn, he was strutting here. If I was Mao's gay little ass, I would have fallen for Hisashi too. I respect your game, Mr. Waters. Or Josh. Sorry, I don't want to say Mr. or Mrs. I don't know.
You fantastic human being.
I'm gonna keep this brief, even though this character would prefer something more tushy for her bussy.
What?
I hate myself for that!
Okay.
If you told me that this peeing in her diaper little scientist in her sultry true form with the same person, I would call you a liar. Lindsay Shepard, come get your wand as Kusari Yakuzen in the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. I refuse to mentally connect that both forms of this character are played by the same person. So congratulations to Piss Ducky. Yep, you get this award.
Piss Ducky, what the fuck?
When you watch the show, you will understand.
I understood that reference.
Thank Hardy.
Yep.
Hardy, I want you to know, when I drop that line on episode to Andrew, Jet, and Jamal, their collective childhood souls crumpled up like a dying creature.
Oh no.
Just reopen that open wound.
Like, I am here with a salted knife. Stephanie, have you ever seen The Land Before Time?
Oh my god, that Ducky.
I didn't get it until you said yep.
Okay, now I get it.
She doesn't say yep. She says yep a lot. And she has a thing for peeing in a diaper.
Oh my god.
So I call her Piss Ducky.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
Listen.
Littlefoot, you have to get out of here. You can't be here.
The calls are coming from inside the house.
The call's coming from inside the Great Valley.
Oh god. Shit.
I need to show you this character, what they look like.
Okay.
You need to understand this. On
Okay.
a feral level, I need you to understand what this character looks like in both forms. Because you will not believe me otherwise.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is one
Okay.
form. This little thing. This is
Okay.
Piss Ducky.
Yes.
This is Kusari. This is baby Piss Ducky.
Okay.
This is not her true form. This is her using an age-reversing potion. This is what she looks like normally.
What kind of fucking wizardry is that?
And here's the thing, she's legal.
Must be hard to shop for bras.
Oh
Jesus.
my god.
Lindsay
She is
Shepard.
18 years old.
Wow.
Lindsay Shepard? What the fuck?
Oh, sweet mother god. Okay. Anyway, Hardy, can we bring this back around?
I will do my best. My previous experience with voice actress Risa May in the past has been her little girl type characters in shows such as My Senpai is Annoying and My Dress Up Darling. So imagine me shocked when I found out she had a perfect little boy voice. As Beelzebub in Sandland, she had just enough spunk and energy to portray the annoying little shit that is the Demon Prince. Hopefully we get to see her use this voice more in the future. But for my second award, holy crap, Sob, you scary! I knew Alejandro had some crazy range, but the voice he gives to Kaiju number 9 is like nothing I've ever heard before. Both oddly inquisitive yet unnervingly terrifying. This performance legitimately made me squirm in my seat. 10 out of 10 would piss my pants again.
Oh, Kusari would love that!
You know, there are times where I can still be amazed at the work voice actors are able to achieve. Even if that sometimes makes me question both their sanity and their well-being, because, as this award is appropriately named, there are some dark forces at work here. Take, for example, Alejandro Saab, who never ceases to amaze people with his range, and yet, there's still plenty of times where he still somehow manages to take things to another level. So when I first heard him as Kaiju number 9 in Kaiju number 8, he was damn near unrecognizable to me as this odd little monster who just seems to want to have fun watching the world burn and is just giddy about it. It's just this odd thing that was a delight to watch and makes me concerned for Alejandro's sanity. Of course, with the second season on the horizon, it'll be fun to see where this role takes him next. But if I have to be really concerned about a person's sanity, it's gonna be this one. Because in a single voiceover role, what I've known about this person was thrown out the damn window. Listen, I remember my high school days fondly. This man was a heartthrob in some teen movies about wizards and vampires. My god, what the actual fuck did Robert Pattinson do to pull off the Great Heron? It's 1 part intimidating and 2 parts goblin sounding that I think my brain completely fried while watching the movie for the first time. Please, please, please. I'm gonna have a clapback moment right now, like Jackson. Please, 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 let Robert Pattinson do more voiceover roles because holy mother of God, that was insane to witness.
More little freaks.
More little freaks! Yes. Alright. Our next award is going to be for Dynamic Duo. I believe this is the 2nd year we have instituted this award. Effectively, what this is a pair of performances that just mesh together so fucking beautifully that they bring out the best in each other. Jackson, will you please give us the winners for Dynamic Duo, please?
Let's get into our host winners. Amon's winner for Dynamic Duo is Britt McKillop and Elise Malloway for Dead Dead Demons Dead 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 Destruction. The emotional chord of Dead 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 only works if you buy with zero doubts that Anton and Cadode are the best friends that would literally do anything for each other. If you don't believe that, about half of the story falls flat on its face. Thankfully, I had zero trouble believing that, thanks to Britt and Elise, who turn in the kind of performance that makes you feel like they are actual childhood best friends, just hanging out and shooting the shit while the world falls apart around them. Andrew's winner for the Best Dynamic Duo award are Emmy Lowe and KG Tang for The Apothecary Diaries. What if Sherlock Holmes and John Watson were a teenage girl obsessed with poisons and her gorgeous eunuch handler? That's Mao Mao and Jin Chi. And I can't begin to emphasize not only how perfectly cast both Emmy and KG are, but their chaotic chemistry in any given scene. Whether it's medical or court mystery solving, playful teasing and flirting, or outright gut-wrenching yearning to hilarious misunderstanding, they completely embody these characters and complement each other well. These two perfectly bounce off each other like frogs on a lily pad.
Motherfucker!
When I find you!
Damn
Hey,
it.
hey, Steph, I know you're going on a very long vacation at the end of the year. Do you need
In
some...
the fall?
Yeah, do you need me to watch your cats? So I can jump him when you guys get home?
I mean...
Do you need an alibi for the weekend?
Do I need it? I mean, I do need a babysitter for these cats.
Listen, I wish I could. I fucking wish I could. No, you have no idea. I wish I could babysit your cats for 2 weeks.
Oh man. Anyway, Andrew, goddamn you, you bitch.
Andrew who? We've never met him. Don't know that person.
Don't know who that is.
Don't know why he's been missing for months.
Andrew, I don't know him. He was canceled.
That's
Speaking
Gigi's job. But
Speaking of the leader of the Andrews Over Party, Gigi's winner for Best Dynamic Duo award goes to Amber Lee Connors and Howard Wang for Lovely Complex. How can you deny the chemistry between these two characters? You can't. Impossible. And Amber and Howard's performances help carry this dub to greatness. Jamal's winner for Best Dynamic Duo goes to Madeline Morris and Rebecca Dane for Freyren Beyond Journey's End. What better bond is there between two disaster lesbians whose elemental powers complement each other? Maddie and Rebecca play off each other's banter and quips so well you'd sincerely think they were disaster thespians.
God damn it. Jamal mentioned he made a theater joke and now I know where it is. Fuck!
Jet's winner for Best Dynamic Duo goes to Britt McKillop and Elise Malloway for Dead Dead Demons Dead 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 Destruction. The Dead Dead Demons dub in general was pretty phenomenal and featured a really strong ensemble, but for as great as everyone else was, the emotional core of this series is in the chemistry between Cadode and Anton, as characters that Britt and Elise made for an amazing combo of actors. It was always fun seeing Britt's high energy and snark as Anton bouncing off the more reserved, down-to-earth tone of Elise's Cadode, and whether the two of them screwing around or dealing with the world-ending drama, you could always tell how much Anton and Cadode meant to each other, and that really shined through Britt and Elise's performances. Patrick's winner for Dynamic Duo goes to Britt McKillop and Elise Malloway for Dead Dead Demons Dead Dead Destruction. Owie.
Thank you, Patrick.
What a man. I love him.
A painful depiction of friendship at the end of the world, and then another end of the world, and then another.
Whoops.
Jackson's winner for Best Dynamic Duo in a dub goes to Brina Palencia and J. Michael Tatum for Spice and Wolf Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf. It's the two best to ever do it. Reunited as veterans and with years of deeper understanding of their characters, I can't give it to anyone else.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Jackson. Megan, will you give us your winners for Dynamic Duo, please?
This year, my dynamic duos have a theme. Romance.
Duh.
Marriage.
Marriage.
I swear to God, when Patrick and I get married, I've said this before to my mother and it pisses her off, that I want my cousins to officiate because they're fucking hilarious. And if one of them does not do the Princess Bride marriage thing to me, I'm effectively disowning them.
Anyway.
Love you, Frank and Bennett! So my first dynamic duo, let's get romantic here. While there are 3 amazing pairs in Twilight Out of Focus, it would be the 2 dumb dweebs who had forgotten their meet cute that would steal my heart. So this goes to Reagan Murdoch and to Ben Stegmeyer as Jin Kikuchihara and Gigi Ichikawa. This enemies to lovers between Reagan and Ben is not only as funny as shit, but it is heartwarming as Guy overcomes his feelings. A tsundere and a narcissistic prince shouldn't mix, but goddamn do they make it work. And I was kicking my feet like a schoolgirl when these 2 finally boned to like a Christopher Nolan-length movie about waves. I'm not kidding you, that is an actual thing that happens.
It is.
And that last scene where Ben has to make a tribute video about the third years, and specifically Jin, priceless. Good romantic chemistry is hard to do, and it's great to see 2 guys do it in a queer romance. And we're sticking with queer romance, but we're gonna go to the other end of the spectrum. With every special yaoi time, must come special bisexual yuri time.
Oh boy.
Well, any pair of girls in the Rentaro family could fit this. Ariel Graham and Sarah Wiedenhef as Karane, Inada and Hakari Hazuno really knock your fans off with how funny they are between the tsundere and the princess. How these 2 keep trying to one-up each other for Rentaro's love, while not realizing that they are becoming the greatest love story in the show behind his back. Sarah plays the horniest little fucking princess you've ever seen, and Ariel calls her out like the communist tsundere sister she is, and it makes some great stuff. Now just get married already, Karane and Hakari. I think Rentaro would be chill with it.
God damn it.
Remember, kids, Karane Inada is our communist tsundere queen.
Jesus.
Seize the mean of harem production!
Okay. Thank you, Megan. Hardy, will you give us your winners for Dynamic Duo, please?
I will, and I have to preface this by saying, my choices for this year's Dynamic Duo Award are a bit controversial, albeit for completely different reasons. For my first choice, I had to go with Ben Balmaceda and Jackie Lastra as Andy and Fuko in Undead Unluck. Even though their characters' relationship starts out as a bit gross and problematic, these 2 eventually grow inseparable as the show goes on, and both Ben and Jackie both verbally and literally bounce off one another in both emotional and hilarious ways. But for my second choice, after much personal thought and debate, and I did really think about this, I decided to choose Keith David and Mike Pollock as Dr. Tenma and Dr. Ochani Mizo in Pluto.
Okay.
Let it be known that I absolutely do not agree with many of Mr. Pollock's beliefs, but I still think that he works excellently alongside Keith as the Dublin scientists. These 2 vocal veterans play off each other absolutely perfectly, and while I would usually be hesitant, I do honestly think they're both deserving of this reward.
Okay. Thank you very much. Alright. I have been enjoying the Dynamic Duo Award and the amount of pairs that give such downright amazing performances together that just add so much to the overall show. It's becoming one of my favorite new awards, and this year's winners have one hell of a time. What do you get when you put together a high-up government official and this random civil servant who wants it to be none of her business in the same room together? My friends, you get the delightful pairing of Emmy Lowe and Keiji Tang as Mao Mao and Jinshi, respectively, in the Apothecary Diaries. Emmy's Mao Mao has this cat-like curiosity that is fun to see play out, except for when she is basically done with her boss's childish hijinks. Enter Keiji Tang, whose Jinshi is playful, regal, and oftentimes persistent when it comes to getting what he wants. Combined, Emmy and Keiji have this dynamic that you don't often see in a series where it appears they are being pushed together as a romantic pair, but if that is the end goal, I am in zero rush to get there because of the stupid fun these two are having playing these complex characters. Alright. It is very rare that I talk about a sequel series because I try very, very hard to highlight newer dubs whenever I can. However, my other dynamic duo winner is a set of performances that have been building for 7 seasons to the moment when you hear the words, "Am I cute?" Lucy Christian and Leah Clark as Ochako and Toga in My Hero Academia have been a pair that shows some of the more complex aspects of hero society, with Toga being a very misunderstood villain and Ochako being the first person to actively try and understand her, with it all leading to the moment where they fight each other for real in order to come to that understanding. I fucking cried my eyes out by the end of this story arc. Like, Andrew had to give me a hug. It was that bad. Lucy and Leah's work together over these past 7 years has been amazing, and it's one that I wanted to make sure was recognized together, because it is unfortunately the one time I will be able to do so. Ladies, take your flowers for this latest season. I'm not kidding. I think I died on the inside when we got hit the end of that.
No arguments here.
Nope. Am I cute, Ochako? The cutest. I need tissues. Anyway, our next award is one of our special awards. We have 2 special awards that we have been giving out for the past several years. One of them is the Unsung Hero Award. This award is generally selected by the 3 OGs. Again, myself, Megan, and Hardy. And this is for someone in the industry, primarily someone behind the scenes, usually, but someone who has done exceedingly amazing work in the industry and in the space that we feel should not go unrecognized. And that's what this award is for. So, for our Unsung Hero Award, take it away.
This year's recipient of the Unsung Hero Award is Kaylin Saucedo, better known as Mars Girl. With a presence in the anime fandom going back over 2 decades, Kaylin started her career out as a writer and content creator. Best known for her anime reviews, her love of all things Kamen Rider and City Hunter, and her maddening attempt to review all 13 Land Before Time movies. Since then, she has turned her love of anime professional, working behind the scenes on the very necessary closed caption and subtitle editing, and even the occasional voice acting gig. Her work has been seen in such smash hits as Sword Art Online, Alicization, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, and most recently, Dandadan. Because of her dry wit, her brutal honesty, and her bravery and steadfastness in the face of harassment and persecution due to her opinions, Kaylin is a truly bright spot on the screen and behind it. Thank you for the 25 years of laugh, Mars Girl. And as always, have fun fighting the Yakuza.
Alright, thank you so much for that, and congratulations to Kaylin for this wonderful award. Alright, who's ready for the next award? Specifically, a Viewer's Choice Award.
Ooh, me mom.
Yay.
Okay, so our next award is the Viewer's Choice W Award for Best Returning Performance. This is specifically voted on by the folks at home for performances that appeared in sequel shows, prequels, things like that. Someone who came back to their role. And because I'm doing Wheel Decide, and it's going to be either myself or Megan reading these, it looks like it's going to be Megan. Just barely. So Megan, will you please do us the honor and read the nominees for Best Returning Performance?
I would love to. Your nominees this year are Caitlin Barr, The Dangers in My Heart Season 2, Bryson Bogus in Blue Lock Episode Nagi, Danny Chambers for The Ancient Magus Bride Season 2 Part 2, Clifford Chapin for My Hero Academia Season 7, Kyle Hebert for Gurren Lagann, the movie Childhood's End, and The Lights in the Sky Are Stars, Alex Lee for Mashal, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc, Brenda Palencia for Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf, Celeste Perez for Laid Back Camp Seasons 2 and 3, Natalie Van Sistine for Spy Family Season 2, and J. Michael Tatum for Black Butler Public School Arc. Your winner is... Natalie Van Sistine for Spy Family Season 2.
Yay!
Congratulations to Natalie!
Getting shot in the ass was worth it.
Yup, for sure.
Oh, golly gosh.
Oh, good golly gosh. Alright, we have covered our favorite supporting performances. I think now is the time to cover our favorite lead performances. So Jackson, will you please kick us off by telling us the other hosts' winners for best lead performance in a dub for comedy?
Will do. Starting with Amon, whose best lead performance in a comedy is Britt McKillop for Dead Dead Demons Dead 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 Destruction. Let us now sing our praises to Brett McKillop, who will make you laugh by playing the most online girl you've ever met so perfectly it hurts, and then makes you hurt in other ways when one of those moments hits. See, this is why making dubs in Canada is so important. We would have missed this if it was recorded somewhere else. And another thing, feel free to do the bit here while you're cutting off some long-winded around. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Andrew's winner for lead performance in a comedy goes to Damien Haas for Delicious in Dungeon. As impressed as I was by Damien Haas last year as Kyoka Kuda, Laos Toden is nearly the polar opposite in every way. A sweet little hyper-fixated knight trying to save his sister and tell his friends about his cool zoo books encyclopedia knowledge. A golden retriever in wolf's clothing, Damien is charming, funny, and even all too relatable at times, putting a lot of his own personal experiences into Laios' bigger moments. I'd gladly come back for seconds of what Damien's been cooking. Gigi's winner for best lead performance in a comedy goes to Amber Lee Connors in Lovely Complex. Thank you for this dub, Amber, and for your performance of Risa that both made me laugh and cry. Trying to be as serious as possible here, so just thank you for bringing to life one of my favorite characters of all time. Jamal's winner for best lead performance in a comedy goes to Hayden Davio for VTuber Legend, How I Went Viral After Forgetting to Turn Off My Stream. I feel like this was a show just designed for Hayden. I'm of the opinion that an actor's performance is more realistic if they bring their life experience into it when necessary. I'm not familiar with Scylla Aria as a VTuber, but they were on point and maybe a bit unhinged in their performance. Jet's winner for best lead performance in a comedy goes to Travis Mulinix for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. For as great as each of the girls in 100 GFs is, the true heart and soul of the show is Rentaro Aijo and the near infinite depths of love he has for each and every one of them. And Travis does a great job of displaying that love in the funniest ways possible. Whether it's pulling the other characters into weird parodies or Rentaro getting strung along by the antics of his girlfriends, Travis's delivery never failed to make me laugh, and those laughs were balanced by some equally strong sincerity when it came to the romance. Travis was a real tour de force here, and I hope his work here gets him more attention. Patrick's winner for best lead performance in a comedy goes to Andrew Love for Helk. Andrew Love is a wonderfully delightful protagonist in a bright and colorful world. What backstory? Don't worry about it. Jackson's winner for best lead performance in a comedy goes to Damien Haas for Delicious in Dungeon. That last clip that instantly popped in your head just now? Yeah, that's why.
I was taking a drink.
But I didn't say anything yet. That's the one that pops into my head.
God damn it.
Was it my turn?
Yes, please.
Alright.
Megan, your winners for lead performance in a comedy.
If there's any character who stole the show this year, it's the absolute girl failure that is Anna, Yanamai, and Makine, Too Many Losing Heroines. Missed the childhood best friend? Check. Pining after him still? Check. Knowing this, Trisha Mellon as Anna runs away with the performance. Her spirit shines into every little moment of Anna's jealousy as she tries to move on for her life, nailing the dramatic when she needs to. But let's be real. The real appeal of Anna and Trisha's performances is those memeable moments, and Anna nails them. From her grumbles to her loud freakouts, come for Anna, but stay for Trisha's performance. Now for my second award. When I originally spoke about this character in the role, I felt great about this performance. On the other hand, I felt the show that it was from was okay, but not my standout show for the year. However, as I sat on this performance, I realized that it's not the show's substance that called it for me, It was the amount of not only time, effort, and technical exploitation of the acting that stuck with me, but how this actor took the role and made it their own in their own way, away from their seiyuu, and how they did it twice. For half of my adult life, I was familiar with this actor for one thing, and after this, I want more. Sarah Natacheni as Alia Kujo might be one of this year's most technical performances, having to do it in both English and Russian. Getting across Alia's fear of rejection, while also making you laugh at her tsundere antics and trying to be sneaky to the boys she likes, makes for great acting. I'm so glad to see that post-Pokemon, people want to see Sarah flex her range, and this was the best put forward you could have ever asked for. So here are your flowers, Sarah. You were amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you, Megan. Hardy, I believe it is your turn, sir.
If you know me, you know that I love big, dumb shonen idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
True himbos who would take on the world even if it cost them everything. And so I've picked out two of my big favorite dumb shonen idiots for my best leads in a comedy. First, we have Ben Balmaceda as Andy in Undead Unluck. Though his character tends to be a little handsy in the first few episodes, his stern, upright determination is unwavering, and Ben provides him with a voice that is deep, loud, and completely dedicated to doing the right thing. Secondly, we have Nazi Tarsha as Kafka Hibino, aka the titular Kaiju number 8. As both a middle-aged man trying his last attempt to achieve his dreams, and a superpowered mutant kaiju on the run from the feds, Nazi gives us a performance of a man who has absolutely gone through the ringer and yet never gives up despite all the setbacks. He may have a kaiju core now, but this man is still all heart.
Aww, I love that. Thank you, Hardy. As usual, the comedy leads this year were very diverse in range and performance. But this year, I find that my winners of this award show a bit more of the, unhinged side of the comedy spectrum. Okay, so this first one doesn't go 100% off the rails unhinged half the time. However, when you get him talking about eating monsters and just gushing about it, then you can kind of see where it comes from. For Damien Haas's Laios in Delicious in Dungeon, he portrays the heart and soul of our little band of dungeon crawlers beautifully. From the sweet and caring demeanor to the tough as nails, and of course, to the obsessed foodie that he is. The expressive nature of the character lends itself into a broader range and dynamic that he can have fun both digging deep into the material as well as just loose as absolute marbles. Damien is such a delight in the role and deserves all the flowers for it. But I think the person who deserves their flowers this year the most is probably the greatest unhinged performance I have ever seen in my life. The Stro-Zero-loving VTubing deviant known as Aoyuki, as portrayed by the lovely Hayden Davio. Hayden takes their full gremlin energy and just dials it up to 11, giving Aoyuki the spunky and fun-loving personality. But that's not to say the character isn't crazy for the entire show. Hayden does portray the quieter moments and emotional beats exceptionally well, especially when things come back to bite Aoyuki in the ass. Hayden is incredibly talented, having, I think, the biggest year to date, and obviously it shows since I just gave them 2 fucking awards. But hey, I hope they get the chance to continue giving voice to some really fun characters. Yeah, I somehow gave Hayden 2 awards this year.
Hey.
Whoops. Hey! Here we are. Alright. Our next award, we're going, again, in the opposite direction for genre. Jackson, will you please give us the host awards for Best Lead Performance in a Dub for Drama?
All right. For Best Lead Performance in a Drama, we will start with Amon, whose winner is Jason Van Brake for Pluto. I don't even know what to say here, man. Geschicht is like a top 10 fictional character for me. He's the dude I want to be when I grow up. He's seen so much shit, and he's still trying to do the right thing, because that's who he is. Jason was handed a hard role that requires doing a lot without doing too much, and he makes it look so easy. As lucky as we are to have such a good adaptation of Pluto and a good dub to go with it, we're even luckier to have such a capable actor in one of the essential roles. Andrew's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Drama goes to Madeline Rodak for Freywin Beyond Journey's End. There's truly something magical, pun 50% intended, about Maori as Freyrin. She is simultaneously cold and distant, yet warm and inviting all at once. She commands strength, fear, while also demonstrating so much whimsy and joy. Powerful, wise, silly, an absolute tour de force packed in a tiny, sleepy elf grandma. There were so many great performances I could have picked from, but much like Himmel the Hero, Mallory's performance will stick with me long after the journey ends.
Damn, Andrew.
Gigi's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Drama goes to J. Michael Tatum for Black Butler Public School Arc. It's been 100 years and I can finally give a Dubbie to Black Butler. It's simply one hell of a performance. Jamal's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Drama goes to Mallory Rodak for Freyren Beyond Journey's End. Mallory was splendid and perfectly cast as Freyren, embracing someone who is wise beyond her years, but doesn't look so world-weary, much like herself. She doesn't always play an elf, but when she does, you know you're going to have a great performance. Jet's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Drama is Mallory Rodak for Freyren Beyond Journey's End. Despite being drastically different in vocal tone from Atsumi Tanezawa's performance, Mallory's take on Freyren is no less impressive and does a great job of getting across how long-lived and world-weary Freyren is as a character, while also doing a great job of displaying her childish side and immaturity when it comes to understanding others. It's a tough balancing act to pull off, but Mallory does so almost flawlessly, and this is easily the best performance of her career. Patrick's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Drama is Zeno Robinson, Go-Go Loser Ranger. Fighter D is great. Zeno is both silly and desperate to survive. It's a great performance worth braving Hulu's clumsy navigation for. What's Hulu? I'm not familiar.
Or Disney Plus for you.
I think you have to use Tubi.
Yeah, unfortunately, something like that. Jackson's winner for Best Lead Performance in a Dub or Drama goes to Erica Mendez for A Place Further Than the Universe. I cannot adequately describe the feelings of grief and catharsis Erica portrays in this role. Masterful work by a master of her trade.
Fantastic, thank you. Megan, will you give us your winners for Best Lead Performance in a Drama?
Sure, let's flip this band-aid right off now.
Oh boy.
The scene in episode 3, where Mao Mao slaps and dumps poisonous powder onto Lady Li Hua's attendant, was the exact moment I hunted a crow down and ate it for daring to think that anyone other than Emmy Lowe could have ever been the English voice of Mao Mao, the world's greatest detective, Dr. Cat. If there was ever a flawless performance out there, it is Emmy's Mao Mao. The love, respect, and passion for the character oozes out. The ability to switch from the smartest person in the room to being put off by Jinchi without it feeling forced. The way that Emmy switches from thoughtful to haughty to dork. It is not by luck, but by Emmy's pure skill as an actor that they are beloved by so many fans of dubs, and God is Mao Mao a high highlight. I never want the anime to end, because it means no more Emmy as Mao Mao, and I think that's the highest compliment you can give.
Damn, alright.
On the reverse of Never Stopping, this is for a show that's perfect the way it is. When I mentioned earlier that a dub showing a new side of a character I maybe didn't appreciate as much as I did in the sub, this is it. This became my new favorite character in the show, and that's no small part due to Erica Mendez as Shirase Kobuchizawa in A Place Further Than the Universe. Erica's ability to capture the anxiety of moving on at the same time of crying over penguins shines in a career best performance. You can laugh at the moments of her eating durian to feeling the rage at the people that she never felt believed in her. Approachable is the best way to describe this performance. Episode 12, where it all culminates, is not only the realization of a journey and its anxieties, but how Erica handles and care with the moment of saying goodbye is enough to bring you to your knees. Thank you, Erica, for this performance. A performance I think we all needed.
Alright, thank you, Megan. Hardy.
This is going to be short and sweet. This one was hard for me because while I did watch some episodes of both of these shows, I never got to finish them. I did, however, enjoy what I listened to from their lead actresses, so I'll be short and sweet for this category. My choices are Mallory Rodak for Freyren and Emmy Lowe for The Apothecary Diaries. Both of them did phenomenally in the few episodes I was able to sneak in, and I look forward to finishing both series very soon.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just ran out of time. I'm sorry.
It's fair.
It's 100% fair.
There would have been more da-da-da on my list if I finished that show.
No, that's completely fair. I'm just saying damn for a completely different reason. You're about to find out why.
Did we mind merge again?
We might have! You and I fucking might have mind melded a little. Okay. When I think about the performances that are memorable and worthy of this award, the phrase career-defining comes to mind. And it's not too difficult to see why that could be, as these two actors elevated their acting careers to new heights, all because of a single role from the past year from arguably the most successful anime from 2024. Hardy, you have to finish these shows. For Mallory Rodak, her star has been growing for nearly a decade, with her biggest claim to fame until now being the female lead of Space Battleship Yamato 2199. However, when it was announced she would be taking on everyone's favorite magical elf grandma, Frieren, I had to steal the grandma from Andrew, it became a game changer, portraying Frieren's signature calm demeanor and, at times, dry humor. Mallory is able to lead the series with such grace and elegance that just captivated you from beginning to end with the emotional highs and lows, as well as the awareness she brings to the role. I am excited to see where her adventure leads her when Season 2 finally comes around. Now, as for Emmy Lowe, we did mind meld. Their star has been climbing higher and higher in the past few years, thanks to roles from Buddy Daddies to Shadow's House and even the cyberpunk Edgerunners. However, I have to say that this is Emmy's year because of a poison-obsessed little lady named Mal Mal. Emmy's performance in The Apothecary Diaries is such a tour de force that plays to all of Mal Mal's personality traits. You could be terrified of Mal Mal in one instance and then see her giggling the next when her obsession leads to the show's more comedic moments. The Apothecary Diaries has been living in my head rent-free for much of 2024, and continues to do so in 2025 thanks to Season 2, with much of it due to the career highlight that is Emmy Lowe. Are we ready to move on to the next award?
Yes.
I believe we are on our next Viewer's Choice Award, and because I haven't read anything yet, I'm gonna do it. So this next award is the Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award for Best Lead Performance in a Dub. Your nominees are Jason Van Brake for Pluto, Hayden Davio for VTuber Legend How I Went Viral After Forgetting to Turn Off My Stream, Damian Haas for Delicious in Dungeon, Emmy Lowe for The Apothecary Diaries, Britt McKillop for Dead Demons Destruction, Erica Mendez for A Place Further Than the Universe, Travis Molinex for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, Zeno Robinson for Go-Go Loser Ranger, Mallory Rodak for Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and Nazi Tarsha for Kaiju number 8. And your winner is... Drum roll, please. Everyone's favorite Sherlock Holmes cat apothecary.
Frog.
The wonderful Emmy Lowe in Apothecary Diaries.
Yay! Meow, meow.
Congratulations, Emmy! I think Emmy's been nominated a few times now, and this is their first win, so I'm excited.
Yay!
Well done.
So, yay, Emmy, congratulations to you! Alright, our next award. We're gonna go back to some more of the technical stuff. Our next award is for Best Writing in a Dub. Pretty straightforward. Jackson, will you please give us the other host winners for Best Writing?
All right. For Best Writer, Amon's winner is Jack Cox for Dead Demons Destruction. I think it's hard to explain to people who have not watched or read just how terminally online its characters are, and there is such a big risk when adapting for that to translate into something really painful, even embarrassing to listen to. Thankfully, Jack has just the right touch to make it not only not embarrassing, but just straight upgrade. Or at least only embarrassing when it's supposed to be, this isn't a Asana work after all. Andrew's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Macy Ann Johnson for Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The highest praise I can give to the dub of Frieren is that the world itself feels alive, and so much of that is how each character talks. Some characters talk differently if they've been alive for a few decades or a few centuries. The language is colorful while understanding the fantasy, Tolkien-esque aesthetic of the world, and sprinkling in language in conversation and world building that matches the tone of the world. Macy's impressive because while a lot of her comedy scripts might get her noticed, I feel the real heart of what she's capable of as an anime rare is perfectly transcribed in the tome of Frieren. Gigi's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Macy Ann Johnson and Mallory Morris for VTuber Legend. I don't really watch or follow any VTubers, but the drunk writing alone was so worth watching this anime. Proof that even if you don't know the subject, you can still enjoy the subject matter. Thank you for slaying this script. Jamal's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Clayton Browning and Kieran Flitton for The Apothecary Diaries. I appreciate Clayton and Kieran's writing efforts, taking a piece of fictional history that's totally not based on any real-life events whatsoever, and basically simplifying it in a way that a typical dub user like me can understand, all while punching up the dialogue tastefully at points, playing to the strengths of the story. I also appreciate the addition of Mau Mau's onomatopoeia. Jet's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Macy Ann Johnson for Freyrun Beyond Journey's End. So much of what makes Freyrun work as a story is how well it manages to convey the passage of time through casual and occasionally introspective conversation. Macy's script does a great job of translating that into the dub, and combines that with some excellent prose to make for an adaptation that always leaves you with something to think about at the end of every episode. Patrick's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Alex Von David and Erica Mendez for Delicious in Dungeon. Punchy when it needs to be, heartfelt when it decides to go for the gut punch. Delicious in Dungeon scripts are bold and assertive translations of the show's manic energy and quiet introspection. Jackson's winner for Best Writing in a Dub goes to Jack Cox for Dead Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. The mix-up with this show's release led to the hilarious result of sub-watchers complaining about the show's script while the dub-watchers were enjoying the delights unimpeded. I have picked up new vocal stims of "Maybe I should start Cult" or "It's a lie from the lamestream media," thanks to Jack's writing.
It's my turn.
Yay! What you got?
In the anime sphere, where so many fantasy animes are just an excuse to tack on modern gaming slang and dialogue to things, this show breaks them all. And who better to handle that than who I may think might be one of the best modern script adaptators out there. Macy Ann Johnson captures both the timelessness aspect of Freyrun, as well as using time to manipulate the dialogue in the show. Characters of different ages talk differently. Hell, characters of different races and backgrounds too. All of this feels effortless to listen to as she plays up the timeless charms of the show. Also, shout out to Dallas Reed, who did episode 16. On the other hand, playing into every chirp for your writing and being funny as hell as it is sultry also rules. To say I wasn't both laughing and giggling is going hot damn to the writing for Twilight Out of Focus is an understatement. Joshua Waters, Ben Phillips, and Eliza Harris know what they were doing. And they knew what BL fans like. Let me tell you, when I heard the phrase Omegaverse uttered out of a fucking voice actor's mouth in utter sincerity, took me the fuck out. Also, Sweet Aphrodite on a half shell as delivered by Landon McDonald. I swear to God, too, I will get a Twilight Out of Focus episode put onto this God's green earth.
She's determined. She's already been texting Gigi and I on this.
How can I say I had a BL dream about my roommate who has gorgeous legs like a gazelle? But also under that humor is a sense of worth and love. The way that getting those messy feelings out of pretty boys falling in love there is. Sure, there's this level of sweet cheese to the dialogue, but it's also what the show needed. Warm, gooey, and able to make you giggle.
Beautiful, thank you. Hard Day, will you give us your winners for Best Writing, please?
Wow, everyone picked for Freyrun, but I picked the other show. 5 words. Can you make me laugh? If you can, good job. You've got a pretty good writer on your hands. And the jokes that Macy Ann Johnson wrote for the 100 girlfriends who really love you had me in absolute stitches. Keeping mostly to the Japanese sense of humor while also adding in just a dash of Western jokes and memes to make every reference pop adds a bit of freshness to an already hilarious show. 5 more words. Can you make me cry? Can you make me feel emotions over a machine? Can you make me ponder my own existence as to whether the human life is worth living? And can you do all this while Keith David waxes poetically over pseudoscience nonsense? Congratulations, Patrick Seitz. You made Pluto worth enjoying.
Hell yeah, baby.
Beautiful. Y'all, we have some mind-melding happening again, and I don't know how I feel. I believe I've said this before, but good writing can seriously make or break a show. Even if every other element is done perfectly, if your writing isn't good, then your entire project can suffer. And these writers winning this year's award prove they have some top-tier skills to them. Let's start with some fabulous comedic writing. When I gave this award to her last year, she had proven her comedic chops and brought out a lot of the fun elements of the show. But we're not talking about More Than a Married Couple this time. Nay, nay. This time I want to discuss the writing Macy Ann Johnson achieved on the unhinged comedy that is VTuber Legend, with an assist from Madeline Morris. In previous sections, I stated that this show is super unhinged, with its fun direction and fairly over-the-top performances. But, once again, the writing becomes a main feature due to Macy and Maddie's ability to blend several nuances in a single go. From nerd references to tutorial explanations, and even to the censored sex jokes made at everyone's expense, their flair for comedy is becoming more and more present and made VTuber Legend a delight to watch. But, just like Hardy said, let's take a trip to the complete opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to writing. Drama. And not just any kind of drama, nay, but one that leans more into science fiction and even a little bit of political. To say that Patrick Seitz' work on the script for Pluto is brilliant is an understatement, because this show in and of itself is a love letter to both Naoki Urasawa and the Astro Boy franchise. Patrick has such an intuitive understanding of Urasawa and his work since he previously wrote on Monsters Dub, so he's able to capture the elements of the story flawlessly. The mystery and intrigue are all there in this little sci-fi thriller, and it's easy to say that Patrick understood the assignment.
Excellent.
I can't believe this is a year where Macy Ann Johnson wrote some of the most heartbreaking shit in Freerun, got an actor to say I'm freezing my nuts off, and got Coco Melon bleeped in a show.
Macy's just stealing everything this year. Good on her.
Triple threat.
Alright, writers are fantastic, but so are directors. So our next award we're going to be discussing is for Best Director. Jackson, my dear, will you give us the winners for the other hosts for Best Director?
All right. Amon's Best Director award goes to Michael Sinter-Nicholas and Stephanie Shea for The Boy and the Heron. I can't imagine directing the dub for what may be Hayao Miyazaki's final movie, and what feels like his personal swan song no matter what else he does, was an easy task. But then one of the reasons you hire the NYAV Post crew is because they are very good at making difficult jobs look very, very easy. Super kudos to Michael and Stephanie, and everyone else who worked on this dub with them on sticking the landing on maybe the most high-profile dub that we've ever covered on this show. Andrew's winner for Best Director goes to Sean Gann for The Apothecary Diaries. There are so many genuinely impressive, admirable, and frankly inspired choices made throughout the dub of Apothecary. From an impressive ensemble of actors across Dallas and LA, Sean really experimented with casting while also managing to command said cast like pieces on a go board. He managed to bring out their true potential, taking unorthodox risks, and really putting his theater background to the forefront by making this historical drama of mystery and conspiracy gripping from the start to finish. Without a doubt, probably Sean's best directorial work to date. Gigi's winner for Best Director goes to Jeremy Inman for Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable. Okay, Jeremy, if it was you that decided to use the Canadian accents here, this is why the award goes in your direction. And even if not, this dub is super funny and charming, and I had an absolute blast watching it. Jamal's award for Best Director goes to Jade Saxton for Freerun Beyond Jury's End. Fantasies seem to be Jade's strength, or at least her cup of tea, if you will, in that she has a vision or approach into how she prefers to tell a story. She casts a wide net, diversifying when possible, and is able to ease her actors into their chosen roles with such finesse. I'd be hard-pressed to find a dub from her that's less than impressive. Jet's winner for Best Director goes to Patrick Seitz for Pluto. A lot of what makes Pluto so well is how beautifully human a lot of the cast feels, and Patrick Seitz did a great job of drawing that humanity out of each and every actor in the dub, whether they be an actual human or a robot Hannibal. Right up there with the monster dub as some of his best work. Patrick's winner for Best Director goes to Shannon Reed for Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. The show is just beautiful, and the dub recreates that feeling of pulling yourself out of burnout. Not an easy watch, but one worth your time. Jackson's winner for Best Director goes to Emily Fajardo for One Piece. 18 years of hard work and many, many hands, and finally the English dub of One Piece has caught up to the Japanese. Emily may be the latest in line, but she oversaw some of the most difficult material and left her mark on the show, leading the Straw Hats on their greatest challenges yet.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
I might give it to someone else if I wasn't here in person, but no, I gotta do it.
Oh no, he really about to do it?
God, Luffy would fucking love Kendrick.
He would.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine if we told Luffy what Drake did?
And fed him a McChicken.
Oh, he would kick Drake's ass.
He would overthrow the government for that.
Yeah, for that McChicken.
Jackson, I want you to know that I own a sticker of Luffy that just says Ron DeSantis sucks.
I love it.
That he does.
And that, when I talked to the artist about it, the way that we would have explained to Luffy to get him to overthrow Ron DeSantis was to show him Epcot.
Jesus.
We also joked that Zoro would have never actually made it to the French pavilion. He would have gone to, like, actual France.
Whoops.
So my first directing award is going to go to Sean Gann, Michelle Rojas, and Chris George for The Apothecary Diaries. For me, the reason the Sean and his crew get this award is not only getting to flex by bringing in the likes of KG Tang, but the way that Sean committed not only to using an Asian-forward cast for this Chinese-based, Japanese-made court drama, but how he and the team casted people in their roles. Saren Strange as the Tig-Bittied Parine? Check. Rika Fajardo as Lakan, and his hot mess? Check. Not only was the cast being innovative, a vast majority of the cast is giving their career best. Overall, Season 1's dub was really good. And as of the time of this recording, I think Season 2's dub is even better. So hats off to Sean and his crew. I'm about to say big words, which is going to come from a lot because this director has also done a lot of really big things. So when I say that this might be the best dub that Jeremy Edmonds ever helmed, this is not me speaking out of my ass. Jeremy Inman and the Aaron Squad.
I love it.
Aaron Dismuke, Aaron Campbell, and Aaron,
Roberts.
Thank you, Roberts. Windbreaker is great in that it's in no small part due to Jeremy's casting and directing. Allowing his actors to play and setting up some actors to play against their types worked out really well. But I think what Jeremy gets most out of this cast is that drive and the weight and what these fights mean to the world and this character. With Season 2 coming up, I hope this excellence keeps up. Also, keep the really creative casting choices up as well. Please put some more twists in the casting. It's amazing. Please, for the love of God, get somebody who is NB or trans to play one of the 4 generals. You know which one it is if you've seen Windbreaker. Anyway, Hardy.
As I said earlier, I was not able to finish the dub for Frieren. But out of the 8 episodes I watched, I was absolutely blown away by how well everything sounded. All of the roles were well cast, every lip flap met its mark. Everything was very professionally done, and so I can feel completely confident in giving my first Best Director award to Jade Saxton and her assistant directors Jill Harris, Jordan Cruz, Kevin D. Thelwell, and Morgan Le Ray. But one show that I did happen to finish, and ironically after making my selections for the Viewer's Choice Awards, was a little show that got swept under the radar called Windbreaker.
Yes!
Yes.
Jokes on the title aside, this show and this dub absolutely stole my heart at the very last minute, and for that I have to thank director Jeremy Inman and the 3 Aarons, Campbell, Dismuke, and Roberts. Thanks for introducing me to these good old lovable fartin' boys.
The fartin' delinquents.
Yeah!
Fartin' delinquents. They eat their vegetables and you know.
I would like to point out at one point they go to like a wrestling protein restaurant and my only thoughts was, did they have a Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan cut out at the door?
Oh my god, you're right!
I want to point out that I think like Hardy finished Windbreaker and within like 2 weeks I had finished it.
I love it. It's so fun. Oh man. If you haven't noticed a pattern yet, you'll find that it's been really difficult to narrow down winners because of how amazing these English dubs have been this past year. And of course, selecting Best Director is no exception. Easily one of the strongest anime from last year was Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, and the English dub just continued to elevate the show to new heights as one of the best fantasy series in recent memory. This is thanks in part to the strong direction from Jade Saxton and her team of assistant ADR directors, Jill Harris, Jordan Cruz, Kevin Thelwell, and Morgan Le Ray. They brought to life this world of fantasy and adventure, never forgetting the subtleties and emotional core that also lie beneath it. It's said that it's not about the destination, it's the journey. And this team proved that to be true with the directing on the show. I really want to do an episode on my favorite anime of all time. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen anytime soon. However, I will take a contemporary. If Patrick Seitz was not tapped to take on the direction of Pluto, you bet your ass I would have rioted. With an assist from co-director Kristen Parati, it became just a fantastic return to form with another Naoki Urasawa's works. And they weren't no slouches on this either, as the direction is arguably one of the best parts of the series. That and the casting being a tiny monster reunion, as well as pulling out all of the stops to give it that A-grade material. The complex story, the mystery, and even the political elements all were able to shine thanks to Patrick and Kristen's brilliant efforts. Huzzah. Now, we have for our next award, our other special award, that being the Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is selected typically by the OG hosts to an individual, a voice actor who has been in the industry for a minimum of 20 years and who has just done some phenomenal work in that span of time. But we did need an assist this year, and so we had the other hosts help us select this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. So, with that in mind, Jet, will you please let us know who the recipient of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award is?
Our recipient of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award is an actor who has not only been voice acting in the anime industry for nearly 30 years, but has been around since its earliest days of the anime home video market as we know it now. Having started his voice acting career working in animes, he's been in everything from Macross Plus to Wolf's Rain, and is known for his deep, powerful voice that has an unmistakable touch to all of his performances. While he's better known for a lot of his supporting roles, he has donned the part of the leading man for such roles as Michael Heartland in Argento Soma and Oji Tanaka in The Legend of Black Heaven, and has continued to lend his voice into works as recent as Ishira, where you can hear him as Anton the Enlightenment. He's also one of the most iconic black voice actors in the anime industry, and helped to pave the way for many of those who came after him. And his most well-known performance is so iconic that when it came time to cast that character in the live-action version of that series, they knew they had to cast another black actor because Bo's performance was so synonymous with the image of that character that no one could imagine anything else. His list of roles includes the likes of Colonel Miller Johnson in Macross Plus, Ogremon in Digimon Adventure, Matt Jackson in Dragon Buddy, Barrett Wallace in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the Raikage in Naruto, and of course, Jet Black in Cowboy Bebop. We at the Dump Talk Podcast are proud to present this year's Lifetime Achievement Award to Bo Billingsley, and want to congratulate him for his over 25 years of work in the voice acting industry. We're grateful for all of his work, and are continuing to look forward to more of it in the future.
Thank you so much, Jet, and congratulations to Mr. Bo Billingsley for our Lifetime Achievement recipient this year.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Alright, we're close to the end, folks. Our next award is our next Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award. We have the Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award for Best Returning Dub. Similar to Best Returning Performance, these are the English dubs that are specifically sequels, prequels, spin-off shows, that kind of sort, that you, the folks at home, got to vote on. And let me just spin this wheel now that I have everybody back in here, and who's going to read this one? Alright. Megan, my love.
Oh good, I get to go again.
Will you please read the nominees for this year's Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award for Best Returning Dub?
The Ancient Magus Bride, Season 2, Part 2, directed by Anthony Bowling, Danny Chambers, Chris George, Mike McFarlane, Kevin Thilwell, and Lee George. Black Butler, The Public School Arc, directed by Caitlin Glass, Emily Fajardo, Marcus Stimmick, Michelle Rojas, Sarah Ragsdale, and Sean Gann. Blue Lock, Episode Nagi, directed by Jonathan Rigg. Dr. Stone, New World, directed by Chris George, Aaron Campbell, Lee George, and Michelle Rojas. Gurren Lagann, The Movie, Childhood's End, and The Lights in the Sky Are Stars, directed by Tony Oliver and Michelle Ruff. Laid Back Camp Season 2 and 3, directed by Sean Gann and Jade Saxon. Mashal, Magic and Muscles, The Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc, directed by Jalen K. Cassell. My Hero Academia Season 7, directed by Mike McFarlane, Aaron Campbell, Jade Saxton, and Marcus Stimmick. Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf, directed by Caitlin Glass, Aaron Dismuke, Emily Fajardo, Jonathan Rigg, Marcus Stimmick, Michelle Rojas, and Sarah Ragsdale. and Spy Family Season 2, directed by Chris George. Drum roll, please. Spy Family Season 2, directed by Chris George.
Woo! Congratulations to the cast and crew of Spy Family for the win. Hell yeah. Alright, we're down to our final 2 awards. One Viewer's Choice Award, and then one of our own. It's the big one. It is the Dubbie Award for Dub of the Year. Jackson,
It's time.
beautiful, beautiful human being. Will you give us the winners from the other hosts for Dub of the Year, please?
It's time. From the other hosts, we have Amon, whose Dub of the Year goes to Pluto. Some days you just want to watch a show about robots and cry. Pluto, a show that's been in production so long it almost feels like a miracle it came out at all, delivers in spades. One of my favorite manga gets an adaptation it deserves, and the dub it deserves too. As kind and beautiful and terrible as the story it accompanies. We should all be so lucky to see something we love treated with so much love and care. Andrew's Dub of the Year is Freyren Beyond Journey's End. I can't begin to articulate how goddamn hard it was to pick a best dub for this year. Probably one of the hardest Dub of the Year decisions I've done in a long time. But at the end of the day, I realized that I have watched Freyren's dub several times now, and I walk away from this dub more and more impressed by it every single time. So many moments that became iconic and went viral for good reason. Each character played perfectly, so many inspired adaptative choices, and incredible line deliveries. In a year of so many incredible dubs, Freyren has stuck with me still, and I am forever grateful that I could take this journey alongside the incredible cast and crew who made some real magic with this one. Gigi's Dub of the Year goes to Lovely Complex. I've already spoken for 3 hours about this dub, my favorite show, the passion project to end all passion projects. I never thought it would exist. Here are your flowers, take my zillion bouquets. Jamal's Dub of the Year is Freyren Beyond Journey's End. I mean, it's a universally great show with a universally great dub, what's not to like? I think, for once, I'm at a loss for words on this one. Jet's Dub of the Year is Pluto. Picking between Pluto and Freyren was like choosing a favorite child, but even after waiting so long for this to get adapted, I was still floored by just how well the dub turned out. Top-notch ensemble, top-notch scripting, top-notch directing, top-notch dub. Patrick's Dub of the Year is Dead Dead Demons Dead 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 Destruction. A near-perfect dub that captures the quiet desperation at the end of the world beautifully. And Jackson's Dub of the Year is Pluto. It's the rare show that makes me contemplate the nature of hatred and engross me in the world of the future. Urasawa's seminal work given the adaptation it deserves. I also relish the opportunity to give the finger to both the Bush administration and the KKK.
Hell yeah!
Yep. Thank you, Jackson. We appreciate you coming on to helping with us this year. Seemingly almost at the last minute because we completely forgot to ask you, like, a couple months back.
Yeah, it is going to cost you more now with the tariffs in place.
Ah, shit.
Should've locked it in sooner.
Can we pay you in VTuber merch? Is that an option?
Or gacha pools.
I do take super chats as currency, yes.
Oh, damn it. I was just going to give you pictures of Calliope Mori's feet.
Oh, I do want those. Damn it, you've got me in a bind here.
We'll figure out payment later.
I've defeated Jackson.
Megan, sweet summer child, can you please give us your winners for Dub of the Year?
Please? I like how you and Hardy are like the only people who will ever call me that because you are both actually older than me.
Yeah.
You not by much, woman.
It's still true though. Anyway.
My dubs of the year, I'm gonna do a little bit of a speech first and then get to them. When selecting Dub of the Year this year, I had my heart split. I easily have a top 5 this year that came down to hair splitting on the scalp level.
Ouch.
While I understand many may find it weird that I don't have Freyren here, trust me, it's a modern classic. I went with 2 different shows. One that made me feel good, like a kid again, or that young me would have watched as an anime as a teen. That selection is for Windbreaker.
Ooh.
I easily binged this show in a day. I felt myself invest in a way I didn't expect, and that is largely because the dub captivated me. A good language dub can make a world come alive. Emmett and the team's dub made the streets that both were in protect feel real. I wanted to learn more about these boys and their hearts. Austin Tyndall gave me the vibes for Sakura I expected, but did it with aplomb. But it's a secondary cast and its creativity that I didn't expect. Dallas Reed has openly said that Suo saved them. Chris Guerrero and Derek Snow's Sun and Moon pains me as their character. Getting to see new sides of Aaron Campbell and having Bryson give a performance that harkened me back to a boys love dub he did.
Oh. Oh yeah.
I genuinely cannot wait to hear season 2. This dub made me feel like a kid again. This is where the real hair split was. 2 shows I had been salivating for. I needed these dubs immediately. One was a hair better. I adore this dub. It made me feel warm. It made me remember the day I binged it on my couch thinking I wouldn't cry, and used it as a palate cleanser for Megalobox.
Oh god.
It's a place further than the universe. While I didn't shout it out on the individual level, this dub has it all. But the biggest thing it did under Michelle Rojas' direction is do what a good dub should do for someone who has seen the show in Japanese with an English sub. Make me re-examine my view on it. Going into the show, my favorite character was Hinata. Erika made it Shirase. I felt the weight of the show's themes hit harder because of the stellar writing. I felt myself feeling the warmth as much as the pain of grief. A Place Further Than the Universe is a special show, so its dub had a lot riding on it. I know it is immensely unfair to hold a dub to such a high standard of expectations, but God, this did not let me down like I feared. So thank you. You made the wait so fucking worth it.
Wow.
I'm gonna be real because I think a lot of people might have expected me to have Apothecary Diaries on here. Apothecary, the only reason it did not snag my overall dub of the year is because I feel the second season's dub is stronger.
Understood.
That is fair.
Unfortunately, season 2 started airing right when we were recording this, almost at its halfway point as we're recording this. Like,
yes.
If there ever was a show that had a great dub that got better, it is that show.
It's this one. I agree with you 100%. So I only watched, I think, like 3 or 4 episodes of A Place Further Than the Universe. I did not get the opportunity to finish it before today, or else it probably would have snuck in there and sniped a few, but...
That's surprising. It only took 2 episodes to become one of my greats of all time.
Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. Hardy. Good, sir.
Speaking of upsets, I'll be honest, I didn't really watch all that much anime last year. I started a lot of shows but either ended up dropping them, postponing them, or skipping them entirely. Because of that, I never got to finish the big-name titles such as Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, 100 Girlfriends, Delicious in Dungeon, etc. Nor did I get around to watching Robert Pattinson go full-on Goblin mode. But because of Andrew's recommendation, I did get a chance to finish off a show that I had previously postponed, and in the end, it turned out to be one of the favorites of this year. My first choice for Dub of the Year is Windbreaker.
Hell yeah!
Yeah!
Now, as far as the shows I did manage to finish, I really tried racking my brain as to what I should choose. Then I remembered the one show that I did, once a week, consistently caught every single new episode of as it was available. The one show that I managed to watch through twice during its eligibility period. The one show that stuck with me more than any other last year. Ready for it? This is going to be a surprise.
Yeah!
Let's hear it.
The one show, thanks to Sean Gann, Nazee Tarsha, Adam MacArthur, Abigail Blythe, Landon McDonald, and all the rest of the cast and crew, made the biggest impression on me in 2024. My dub of the year is Kaiju number 8.
Fuck yeah, baby!
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah, motherfucker! I love that. Oh man, thank you. Thank you, thank you. When I had heard about my first dub of the year winner, I knew only the basic summary, and that it was one of the most highly anticipated anime of the year. Obviously, those are some high expectations, and even bigger shoes to fill. But never in my wildest dreams did I expect a fantasy show to grip me so tightly and never let go that I'm just dying to find out more. Frieren Beyond Journey's End is a fantastic fantasy show whose dub brings forth a sense of hope and wonder to it. Jade Saxon and her team carefully crafted this dub from the ground up with diverse and dynamic performances that you can't help but enjoy, and made for some new highs for many of the actors involved. Mallory Rodak, Jill Harris, Jordan Dash Cruz, Clifford Chapin, Jason Douglas, Chris Guerrero, and many, many more bring this beautiful journey to life and fill it with charming, cozy vibes with the occasional dose of chaos. It's captivating from beginning to end, and it's no wonder everyone has fallen in love with it, myself included. Now, big shoujo/shoujo adjacent series have become pretty difficult to come by in recent years. And what's worse are the ones who don't have enough popularity to get sequels so we can continue to watch the story unfold. I am still upset that series like Snow White with Red Hair and Yon of the Dawn never really got more time to shine. However, I have found a new obsession that I can't wait to watch every week, and it already is airing a second season. Let's be real. There's no way the Apothecary Diaries wasn't getting this award.
Hell yeah!
Hey! Sean Gann and company really brought to life this world of mystery, political intrigue, historical fiction, and even the educational moments, bringing them to the forefront of this show. The directing and writing are some of the best for historical fiction/shoujo adjacent I have seen in recent memory. While the cast led by Emmy Lowe and KG Tang brings a healthy mix of dynamics and performances that continue to add layer upon layer to the series. I want to see more of this story unfold after the second season wraps, and I swear to God, Japan, if we don't get another season, I will riot. I believe an episode was already recorded for Apothecary Diaries.
Yep!
And unfortunately, due to mental health reasons, I had to step away from it. So if this is my one and only chance to tell you to go watch this goddamn show, I am taking it and running with it, damn it. But I will say, to wrap this up, picking my winners for Dub of the Year this year was the hardest thing I have ever done in nearly 10 years we've done this award show. There were so many English dubs this year that were a high scale in quality that selecting my winners drove me insane. I don't normally do this, but in addition to my winners, please go and check out the dubs for Pluto, Windbreaker, Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian, Twilight Out of Focus, A Sign of Affection, VTuber Legend, Kaiju Number 8, and Delicious in Dungeon. Those are a bunch of my favorite new shows from the past year with high quality dubs attached, and I highly recommend all of them.
And I want to make an addendum to that. In addition to all those lists, also Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
It is an anime.
And you know what? I may not have finished it, but because of Megan's passionate speech, I'm gonna add Place Further Than the Universe too. Please. There was so many, top tier, high quality shows that this was so fucking difficult.
I genuinely think I said this when we did our 100 Girlfriends episode. When I finished that dub, I literally said, this is a dark horse contender for me.
It's insane.
There are dubs that we might have missed because there were so many. I'm gonna give it a shout out because I also recently finished it. Elusive Samurai. Started rough, ended great. There are so many dubs that come out, and surprisingly less came out than normal, but there are so many ones that come out now, and so many companies now see the value in them.
Yes.
Granted, not all of them are going about it the best way, Amazon. But I love the fact that people are seeing the value of it. Unfortunately, I do wish it was easier and more uniform for some people to get them. I feel like a lot of people missed out on a lot of the stuff that Disney did this year.
Yeah.
I have heard phenomenal things about Medalist.
Oh, it's great.
And let's be real, are some of the choices made for the shows that get dubbed kind of piss poor? Unfortunately, yes, because we live in an isekai oversaturated economy, but I think that it's only going to get harder every year. If we're going by what started at the beginning of the eligibility period for next year, somebody came out with their big shiny golden balls.
Yep.
Oh my god. This year, this is I think the first year in so long where it became more about quality, not quantity.
That's what we're really doing here, right?
Yeah.
They're good dubs. Go watch them. We can't give an award to all of them.
But Jesus
We just
Christ.
need to highlight our favorites. But oh my god, down the ballot. It's heater after heater after heater.
It was picking our favorite children is what happened throughout the whole fucking course of this. It was painful. The most pain I'd felt in a long-ass time.
And remember, this is our personal stuff. If you liked something different than us, please throw a comment in the comments and be nice about things.
Yeah, throw out a recommendation. That is A-okay. If there is an English dub that you really, really love from the past year, throw it on down there. For sure.
So we've got one left.
Yep. I already spun the wheel and it picked me.
Suspicious.
Fuck you, I'm not kidding.
Insert the
I'm not kidding.
insert the Among Us music.
So our final award of the evening is the Viewer's Choice Dubbie Award for Dub of the Year. Same category as our normal Dub of the Year, but you, the folks at home, picked the winner. Your nominees this year are The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, directed by Helena Wallstrom and Kevin Thilwell. A Place Further Than the Universe, directed by Michelle Rojas, Ben Balmaceda, and Natalie Rose. The Apothecary Diaries, directed by Sean Gann, Chris George, and Michelle Rojas. The Boy and the Heron, directed by Michael Sinter-Nicholas and Stephanie Shea. Dead Dead Demons, Dead Destruction, directed by Carl Willems. Delicious in Dungeon, directed by Alex Von David and Lucian Dodge. The First Slam Dunk, directed by Michael Sinter-Nicholas and Stephanie Shea. Freerin Beyond Journey's End, directed by Jade Saxton, Jill Harris, Jordan Dash Cruz, Kevin Thilwell, and Morgan LeRae. Go Go Loser Ranger, directed by Michael Sinter-Nicholas, David Jordan Chen, and Stephanie Shea. And finally, Pluto, directed by Patrick Seitz and Kristen Parati. Your winner is... Freerin Beyond Journey's End, directed by Jade Saxton, Jill Harris, Jordan Dash Cruz, Kevin Thowell, and Morgan LeRae.
Congratulations!
Yay!
A win hard fought.
Yes. Trust me, very well hard fought. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Himmel the hero died for this.
Himmel died?
Freerin Beyond Journey's End winning Dub of the Year is what Himmel would have wanted. Alright, congratulations to the cast and crew of Freerin.
Alright guys, I got the Ouija board. We're gonna bring Himmel on to give a speech.
Cliff, can you help us? Shit. Anyway, that is all of our awards for this year. Hi, yay! Hallelujah. We aren't done, though. There is one more thing we have to do. Because there's no real other place to put it, because it's hard to figure out where to put this segment. With every high, there are sometimes some lows. And unfortunately, those lows include the passing of veteran and established voice actors in the industry.
And other members of the anime community.
Correct, thank you. We like to take a brief moment to recognize and honor those wonderful individuals who are no longer with us in our little memoriam section. Take it away.
Another year has come and gone, and for all we do to celebrate the great feats of anime and English dubs every year, we also lost some important and influential people involved with the world of anime, voice acting, and dubbing. Although they are gone, their work, their legacy, and their memories will live on forevermore. The Dub Talk podcast wishes to pay their respects to those whose lives are gone, but their voices will never be forgotten. Erica Ash, voice actress. Greg Finley, voice actor and writer. David Graham, voice actor. Doc Harris, voice actor. Dan Hennessy, voice director. Rachel Lillis, voice actress. Morgan Lofting, voice actor and writer. Peter Renaday, voice actor. William Samples, voice actor. Jan Scott Fraser, translator and founder and president of Production IG USA. Donald Sutherland, voice actor. Dave Underwood, voice actor. Tom Weiner, voice actor, writer, and director. Nicholas Dupree, writer and reviewer for Anime News Network. To all of you, thank you for everything you gave us. You will forever be missed.
Thank you so much for reading that. We appreciate it. And thank you to all of those we have lost this past year. You will be remembered. That being said, unfortunately, this is the other reason why it's difficult to put that segment somewhere, because how do you come out of that? But we're done, boys and girls.
Another year.
That's it. Jesus Christ, another year. Dub Talk is 10 years old as of 2025, which means I believe next year will be the 10th Dubbie Awards.
It's getting close. Yep.
Do you think we can afford Conan for next year?
I don't think we could afford Jimmy, honestly.
Damn it.
Damn, that's a low blow. Oh, anyway.
On the other hand, James Corden's for free.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Hardy, I would rather have a habanero enema than put James Corden on this show.
Fuck.
I would rather have Carolina Reaper sauce get in my hoo-ha.
Jesus.
You know who we could fucking afford?
Who?
I bet you with enough American dollars, we could get my mom to host.
Damn.
Listen, my mother is more talented than James Corden will ever be.
I love it. Megan's got to start in the negotiation process now.
If I give her a grandchild, maybe.
You and me both with my mother giving her a grandchild. Jesus. Anyways, on that note, thank you so much for sticking around for almost 4 hours while we ramble and gush about all of the English dubs that we loved this past year. If you made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you. But that is the end of our show today. If you, the folks at home, want to hear or see more stupid shenanigans like this from us, you can follow the Dub Talk podcast here on YouTube. We also have the audio versions of our episodes available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. If you want to follow us also on social medias, we do have a Blue Sky primarily. We also have Instagram. We have a Twitter. We also have a Twitch. All of them are at Dub Talk Podcast. If you wanted to support the show in a different capacity, we do have a Ko-fi account for one-time donations, and we also have our wonderful Patreon, where if you donate, if you give us money on a monthly basis, you get some fun little perks along the way, including episode shoutouts like today. For instance, we have in our $5 tier, we have Bright Eyes 505, Crimson Echidna, Just J2, Quinoa Soup, Melissa Lenti, Megan's mom and dad,
Hi.
and Michelle Travis. And in our $10 tier, we have Anthony Brown, Carly Lesticow, Julia W, Otaku Anthony, and Pika Greg. Thank you all so much for continuing to support us. If you want to see or hear anything that the four of us goobers do on a frequent basis, that is Spaceman Hardy. You can follow him on Blue Sky primarily, but I believe you're also on Twitter still, at Spaceman Hardy. And then we have Miss Megune, who primarily, I believe, is on Blue Sky now.
Yeah, I do not have a Twitter
Yeah,
account.
you got rid of it. Your Blue Sky is at Queen Era 2.
No, it's just Queen Era. I don't have the two.
Oh, it's just Queen Era?
Yeah.
You defeated your nemesis.
Yeah, I killed the...
She is the only one!
I went into whatever the fuck is down in Persona Land and killed my other self.
Okay, that,
I was gonna say I went into Labyrinthos, but that's from the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, which had an expansion this year called Dawn Trail, and the dub of it's really good. I'm gonna fuck up Senna Briar's haters. She was fantastic as Wook Lamont. Fight me, bro.
And there's Final Fantasy. There's the Final
I went
Fantasy
nearly
today.
4 hours without mentioning it. It's the longest I've ever gone.
I am proud of you for that, and you had to sneak it in at the last minute. As for Jackson over there, you can follow him on both Blue Sky and I believe you still have Twitter.
Yeah.
Both of which at 9claw Tiger. The number 9, not spelled out. As for me, I am on Blue Sky, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. All at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled R-E-V-U-E. I post random shit, and I've been having fun doing the small streamer thing on Twitch as well, where I stream currently primarily Mondays and Thursdays and some Saturdays. So come on over, hang out, and we'll have a good time. Thank y'all again so much for hanging out with us. We very much appreciate it. You guys are fucking fantastic. Here's to another year of English dubs. Godspeed, everybody. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time, and until then, otaku on, my friends.
Keep it manly.
Bye.
I love you, Wook Lamont.